So, am I live right now? Hi guys, hi everyone. Hi everyone. Thank you all so much for coming over to my live stream. How is everyone doing? Hopefully I'm live. Hopefully everything's going well. Hopefully, yeah. So today is Friday. Right now it's 2:41 p.m. 2:41 p.m. Correct. Hopefully I'm live. Hopefully everything's going well. There's a new YouTube video that came out recently from the YouTube channel, The Game Theorists. Yeah. From the Game Theorists site. Yeah, thumbnail is correct. Thumbnail is proper. Alright, that's great. So, the more you know, I guess, you shouldn't plan too far ahead on schedule. Hi! Yeah, so there's a new game, there's a new video from the YouTube channel, The Game Theorists, from, about the science of Minecraft. So yeah, oh my gosh, hi, hello from Singapore. Hi, Cheyenne Noriega. Hopefully I pronounced correctly. So thank you so much for coming over. CHEYENNE space NORIEGA. Hi. Thank you so much for coming over. Okay, I need to do audio check. Okay, every single time I start my live show, I should do audio check. Okay. So this video literally came out a few hours ago. So yeah, let's have a look here. It's gonna be scientific, so I love it. I'm my deepest apologies for being a nerd. Yeah. Okay. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Audio check. Audio check. 1, 2, 3.
What temperature are the cold regions of Minecraft?
Oh, interesting. Okay, so hopefully please work. Audio check. 1, 2, 3.
What temperature?
Good job. Okay, it works. So any suggestions on how should I start my introductions? Any ideas on how should I start my introductions for the science of Minecraft? I know. And today, let's get nerdy and geeky. Let's get nerdy. Let's get nerdy and geeky. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's get nerdy and geeky with the science of Minecraft. Sounds good? Oh wait, it shall be learn something cool. Oh, sorry. So it's something like Cheyenne Noriega. Can you give me feedback on if this is a good thing or not? Okay, just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, or like just 1 for yes, 0 for no. Okay, 1 or 0. 1 if you type, 1 if you agree. Type 1 if you agree. Okay, it'll be like, hi everyone, it's me. Hi everyone, it's me. Let's get nerdy and geeky. Learn something cool with the science of Minecraft. Sounds cool? Everyone, it's me. Everyone, it's me. Let's get nerdy and geeky. Learn something cool. Science of Minecraft. Awesome. Thank you so much. Love the thumbs up. Okay, let's start. In 3. Hi everyone, it's me. Let's get nerdy and geeky. Let's learn something cool. Let's get nerdy and geeky. One more time. My bad. Sorry. Hi everyone, it's me. Let's get nerdy and geeky, learn something cool from the science of Minecraft. Let's get started.
What temperature are the cold regions of Minecraft?
Degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit?
What a question. A simple question. How cold does it get in the snowy plains, the taiga, how do you say that? The frozen peaks? This is the question that sparked my imagination this
Tiger.
week, and I thought at first, maybe like you are right now, that it is a dumb question, an easy to answer question, one that wouldn't be worth doing a video on. Little did I know that the path to answering this question was laden with trials, tribulations, sweat, blood, tears, explosions, drowning, falling, flying, and finally, after enough pain and suffering and wading through formula after formula, finally I found my answer, and it's freaking terrifying, amazing, beautiful, and disastrous.
I'm sorry.
This question came to me while I was playing Minecraft. This is the game that I'm currently in, and this is the treehouse that my daughter made me build.
Why?
Because she doesn't totally understand what I do for work and demanded that I drop everything to make a treehouse. So, since I spent like 5 hours on it, I thought I'd show it to you. And this is my treehouse that my daughter made me build.
Oh, it's something like, Daddy, I want it. I'm sorry.
So, cold, freezing temperatures. There's actually a winter storm going on outside my window right now, and I'm fighting the urge to go sledding. So this
Oh my god, the irony. That's awkward.
feels strangely apropos. To get the rest of you up to speed, if you don't know, there's these things called biomes in Minecraft. Biomes are areas of the game that have unique or specific environmental qualities. Temperature, flora, fauna, trees, weather conditions. You know them even if you didn't know what they were called. You get deserts, plains, oceans, mountains, mushroom fields, swamps, and of course, all the frozen biomes.
Let it go!
Biomes are generated using a pretty interesting set of processes. These involve Perlin noise functions, progressive scaling algorithms, and other methods to develop landmass to ocean ratios, and it makes temperature cluster zones, and then it puts biomes that fit certain criteria within those temperature zones with weighted randomness. This means the game very intentionally tries to avoid putting really cold zones right next to like desert climates. This used to happen all the time in older versions of Minecraft, but I spent about an hour looking for this in my games, and the closest I could really find snowy regions to a hot region was something like 1,000 blocks. Now that's really close if you're talking about temperature and weather, but it is nothing like the old days. We're having deserts right next to snowy biomes.
A desert right next to a snowy mountains. I mean, if it really happens, a bit weird, right?
Was totally the norm. My original idea for this video was to do basically the same thing as my ye oldie Zelda video about weather in Hyrule, because I am totally unoriginal and uncreative by nitpicking the temperature and water vapor gradients in the world of Minecraft, but I got focused, fixated, hooked, and tripped up on some tiny little detail that was the key to unlocking this weather mystery, and answering it took up all of my time, energy, and money, and that is this, the freezing temperature of water. See, in order to get proper estimates for just how explosive the weather in Minecraft should be, what with having snowy tundras only a kilometer away from blistering deserts, we have to know exactly how cold the cold regions are. Ideally, we'd need to know how hot the hot regions are too, because then we'd be able to get a temperature gradient map painted. Why do we need to know this?
Must have the equilibrium, must have the mathematical equilibrium involved.
Well, because temperature is complicated. We're used to thinking of temperature and heat as the same thing, and they're not. They're related but different, and heat is actually the key problem with all this weather business in Minecraft.
Yes, do you know that, fun fact, do you know that hot and cold does not actually exist, technically speaking? It's like if we feel hot, if we feel cold, it's just the absence or the presence of more heat or less heat energy. So the more you know.
Temperature is a way of measuring heat, essentially, while heat is the actual energy stored within a system. Heat energy is the microscopic vibration of molecules and atoms and subatomic particles in any mass. A block of air, a block of water, it all stores heat. Now, say I take two different pots out of my cabinet. I fill one pot with exactly 1 liter of water and the other with 2. Now, I heat both pots up to a boiling temperature, 100 degrees. They're both the exact same temperature, right? However, at a specific heat of 4.186 joules per gram, meaning that it takes 4.186 joules of heat energy to raise 1 gram of water 1 degree, and assuming the water starts at 10 C, I've put 376 kilojoules of energy into the 1 liter pot, but 753 kilojoules of energy into the second pot with 2 liters in it, meaning.
But having said that, this is the real world, so the numbers may fluctuate here and there a bit. I'm very sorry.
That while they both have the same temperature, they both have wildly different amounts of heat energy stored within them. And this can vary tremendously from object to object and substance to substance. What we perceive as hot or cold when we touch things is actually heat energy either leaving our bodies in the case of cold or entering in the case of hot. So the heat capacity of various objects and substances and even the air plays a big part in how we perceive the world around us. Heat energy moves from objects that are different temperatures. If you put something cold next to something hot, the hot object will lose heat energy, putting it into the cold thing until they are both the same temperature and reach equilibrium.
Equilibrium!
This is how water freezes. If you put liquid water outside in winter or in your freezer, it has a certain amount of heat in it, energy that's stored as vibrating molecules. They're vibrating so much that they can't settle into a crystal structure ice and just keep sliding over and around one another. In other words, they are a fluid, but now it's surrounded by air that's colder, a lower temperature. All that energy from the water, the heat, moves into the air, warming it up. Air has a much lower heat capacity than water, but there's usually a lot more air hanging around, so the hot particles leave or transfer that heat into nearby air particles, freeing up some energy space so it can keep pulling heat out of the water. Slowly, all that stored heat energy leaves the water. The molecules stop dancing so fast, they get tired and slow down and start to lock into place. Eventually, if the air around the water is cold enough, that is, at or below the freezing point, the water loses enough energy that it starts to crystallize and form ice.
Yes, that's right, it crystallizes. I'm just thankful that he mentioned such educational points in his videos, so thank you so much. It's very knowledgeable and I hope that you learn something new as well. Thank you. Let's continue.
Another thing to keep in mind is that the bigger the difference in temperature, the faster heat energy is transferred. It's kind of like the more heat you shove into something compared to the world around it, the higher pressure it has. So when it releases that heat, it lets it go really fast.
Let it go!
Alright, so you know the basics now. The very basics. Why did I go over all of this? Because you need to know why my analysis of Minecraft's weather got hitched up before I got very far. In order to know how dangerous and implausible the weather in Minecraft is, I have to know the difference in temperature from region to region, because that dictates how much energy should be moving between them and how quickly. The more and faster, the more dangerous and horrific the weather. Unfortunately, I never got that far because answering this one question was a monumentally complicated task, and it alone almost drove me crazy. Water freezes pretty fast in Minecraft, and we'll get to the details later, but without knowing certain information about the world itself, this is basically a meaningless factoid. Specifically, we need to know the air density, and if we can get our hands on it, the air pressure. This is for a couple of reasons. For one, pressure, that is the weight of the atmosphere pressing down on a fluid, has a big impact on how it changes phases. That is to say, what temperature it needs to be at to vaporize into a gas or crystallize into a solid, and this has real implications even here on Earth. If you're up in the Rocky Mountains at altitude, water boils at 90 degrees Celsius, which means cooking food up there without a pressure cooker takes more time. And why, if you chuck water into space, which basically has infinite no pressure, it will instantly boil away into vapor. This is because the weight of the atmosphere pressing down on water actually keeps its molecules from just flying out all over the place. Air literally holds water down. This is what's known as vapor pressure. And this is where I started to get into some real trouble. Air pressure, air density, how the heck are we gonna get that? I thought about using lift generated by gliding with the elytra, but the coefficient of lift proves to be a pretty major problem in figuring this out.
And you must remember that this is in a fictional world, and not a lot of data might be involved, so I'm sorry.
Tried possibly using the water displaced by the boat under the gravity of the Minecraft world, but this really didn't help, and I couldn't figure out how to make it work. And then I had my genius moment, and it all clicked. Terminal velocity. It was the buoyancy of the boat that gave me the key, because buoyancy and terminal velocity are both related. When you're falling, in Newtonian terms, gravity is pulling you down with a force. This is the force of gravity, and it causes you to accelerate. That is, you're changing speed.
Fun fact, in Singapore, in the planet Earth, on the planet Earth, planet Earth gravity, if I'm not wrong, on average it is around 9.81 meters per second square. So the more you know, right? Okay, from what I know, if you are somewhere high, if you are somewhere low, it fluctuates a bit, but on average it is 9.81 meters per second square. So for primary school, you just round it up to 10 meters per second square lah. Round it up. Yeah.
Between you and the ground, however, is air, and it's gotta get out of the way, right? So as you accelerate and move, you push air molecules out of the way. Another word for pushing out of the way is accelerating. You are accelerating air molecules. And as per Newton's third law, for each action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That is to say, those air molecules push back. They exert a force. This force is buoyancy. Okay, I thought I could ignore this, but the more this video went on, the more it bugged me, and I just have to correct it. Technically, this is the force of drag, which isn't exactly the same as buoyancy, which is caused by a voluminous object displacing a fluid. It's similar, and they are related and correlated, but technically not identical. Thinking about buoyancy is what got me down this thread, though, and I misspoke a little bit here, and so I just had to correct that.
Sorry, my deepest apologies. Please forgive me. I'm sorry.
Back to the episode and Tanya's fantastic editing. And the faster you go, the more molecules you're pushing out of the way.
Yes, I agree with you. Fantastic, remarkable, splendid, wonderful, outstanding, anything.
And the more force is exerted on you, until the force being exerted on you matches the force of gravity, and you reach what's known as terminal velocity, your maximum fastest falling speed. We can calculate this using this formula here. Vt is terminal velocity, m is mass, g is gravity, rho is fluid density, a is the projected area of the falling object, and cd is the drag coefficient.
Alright, comment down below if you actually recognize this formula.
Drag coefficient is something that we can look up, and I measured the gravity using this formula to get a value of 27 meters per second squared of gravitational force, but we have a problem. We want to know density, so we can rearrange this formula so we're looking for the rho, but that leaves us with two unknowns, the density and the mass of the falling object, in this case Steve or Alex. One step forward, two steps back! Well, we figured out Mario's mass using rocket science and water jets one time. Maybe we can do the same thing with the protagonist of Minecraft, so I did the only thing that made sense at the time. I blew myself up! I had to cut this section because my video was getting enormous, but suffice to say hundreds of slimes died, and all for nothing because my potential energy math put Steve and Alex's weight at over 600 tons. It was a dead end! I was back to square one.
600 tons in weight. Wow. Wow.
Thankfully, it turns out that square one was exactly where I needed to be today. Terminal velocity. The key to everything was, of course, terminal velocity. It was the whole time. This is where everything started to snap into place. I didn't need Steve's mass if I could eliminate all my other unknowns, and I could do this if I used another fluid aside from air to measure terminal velocity. Something consistent, something that exists in our real world, something that barely changes no matter where you put it. Lava. Nah, I'm just kidding, it's water. What?
I was like, yeah, water. Wait, lava? Water.
Here's the answer, Mandrake, and it always was. You see, while the phase water takes is highly dependent upon ambient pressure, once water is a liquid, it does not like to be compressed. It's called incompressible, even though this isn't strictly true, at the very bottom of the ocean, with the entire weight of the water above it and the air above that pressing down with huge pressures. Water only compresses a very tiny bit. This means that the density of our fluid, in this case water, remains relatively consistent and is a known factor, which means we can measure the terminal velocity of Steve sinking in it. And
so you can think of it as something similar to there's the sky, the sea, and the deep sea. Deep sea. That sounds weird. Deep sea.
Let's be real, sinking is just falling. Then we can work backwards to get Steve's
under the sea, yes.
Mass, and then use that to remove our unknown in our other rearrangement of the terminal velocity formula to get the air density of Minecraft, and we're back in business.
Yeah.
Steve is kind of boxy, so I used a pretty high drag coefficient of 2.1, the number for a rectangular box falling through a fluid. Steve reaches a glacial speed of 5-ish meters per second of falling speed with a density of 1,000, a liberal projected area of 1 square meter. That's an overestimate, but you'll see why I overestimated in a second, and a gravity of 27.06 meters per second squared. We can finally close the book on Steve and Alex's mass, and it comes to 9.7 kilograms.
What?
That is very small.
9.7 kilograms for a full-grown adult. What? Wait, what?
It's like 2 of my cats put together, spread out all over this one guy. Well, I guess that's like one way we can justify this guy flying on those wings that have such a small surface area. Well, whatever. I'm gonna take it. It's a hell of a lot better than 600 tons. Taking our styrofoam protagonist mass and plugging it into this formula, given a terminal falling velocity through air of 36 meters per second, we...
Stop for a moment first. I just really like it that he mentioned about the protagonist, the main character, as the MC is the styrofoam protagonist. It's like, it's super like, belly big punch.
We get an air density of 0.185 kilograms per cubic meter, which is about 15% the density of Earth's atmosphere. This puts Minecraft's air pressure equivalent to something like the air pressure on Earth at 15 kilometers high, about 12.1 kilopascals. I know that's making some assumptions about gravity and atmospheric mass, but I'm just barely clinging on at this point, man. Just please let me have this.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. It turns out we didn't need to do any of this. I could have just looked at this phase diagram and known that the freezing mean temperature of water barely changes with pressure as long as our air pressure is within this massive range of 100 million pascals. Water will always want to freeze at just around 0°C. God dang it!
Oh, hello there. Happy seeing you in the wild. Hi.
Well, I guess we can at least confirm that the atmospheric pressure likely falls within this range, and the amount of air surrounding the water might become relevant in a bit when it comes to making judgment calls about numbers, because we ain't done yet. We have our relative air density, water density, now we need to figure out how fast the water is freezing. I built a rig for testing this that had 100 blocks freezing in it. I separated them out like this because whether they're adjacent to one another seems to impact how quickly they freeze, and I wanted to remove that from my concerns. On average, it turned out that 1 ton...
Wait, what? Wait, he actually created this?
I separated them out like this because whether they're adjacent to one another seems to impact how quickly they freeze, and I wanted to remove that from my concerns. On average, it turned out that 1 ton of water freezes in just under 2 seconds of real time, but Minecraft has an accelerated time scale where an entire day happens in 20 minutes. That's 72 times faster than the real world, which bumps our freeze time up to a respectable 133 seconds, or just over 2 minutes of time to freeze. Now, remember what I said earlier. Cooling is the movement of heat energy from a substance into another that is a lower temperature. So, in theory, knowing how much the water is cooling by and how quickly, we can figure out the air temperature. Let's give this game a fighting chance. Let's say the water is starting out pretty cold, only 10 degrees Celsius, and we want to cool it to 0. Using our formula from earlier and knowing that we have a literal ton of water here and saving ourselves the headache of considering the latent heat of fusion, we know that to cool water by 10 degrees, we would have to remove 41.86 megajoules of heat energy. This all has to happen in just 133 seconds of adjusted time. Is this possible? Maybe. Joules over time, energy over time, is measured in watts. Yep, just like electricity. Energy is energy, man, and if we know the watts, 313,000 in this case, then buddy, we are almost there. May I present to you this bad boy, the convection heat transfer formula. The key to unlocking it has been staring at us in the face the whole time. Watts of heat energy equals the convective heat transfer coefficient times the temperature difference.
Yes, case in point, do you actually recognize these equations? Because I love it.
Formula is meant to describe the rate of heat energy transferred between two substances of different temperature, given you know the temperature difference between the two, the amount of surface area that is in contact, and a coefficient number. We know the watts. We know the area, 6 square meters, 1 for each side of the water cube. I'm being generous. We can look up the coefficients, and since we're estimating our starting water temperature, if we use this formula to find the temperature difference between the materials, we can finally figure out how cold it is outside in Minecraft with simple arithmetic. I love my job! And it's here where, believe it or not, all that work we did finding the air density finally pays off, since we know the atmosphere of Minecraft is extremely thin. When we're looking at the free convection transfer coefficients, which are pretty wide, we need to pick something on the low end to account for the thinner atmosphere and the lower mass involved. Between 0.5 watts per meter squared per Kelvin and 3000, I picked 500. It's arbitrary, but it's way on the low side to account for the lower heat capacity. Rearranging our formula so it looks like this instead to solve for temperature difference, all we have to do now is hit the equal sign on our calculator to learn that the air is 104 degrees colder in Kelvin or Celsius than our starting water temperature, which makes the tundra frozen zones of Minecraft a balmy negative 94 Celsius or negative 137 Fahrenheit. That is surprisingly believable. It's very cold, but not impossibly cold. For one, it's not below absolute zero. It is, though, colder than any naturally occurring temperature on Earth, but it's about what you would expect for a winter on Mars.
The reason why he mentions naturally occurring is because it's possible that we can recreate such temperatures in a lab, in a controlled environment. So yeah, maybe.
And given the thinner atmosphere, well, I mean, I'm gonna call it plausible. And with higher HC coefficients, it could be even warmer. At 1000 instead of 500, you get negative 42 degrees, well within what's possible on Earth. Kinda freaky to know that you could put a giant cube of water outside in Antarctica and it would freeze solid in 2 minutes with zero insulation, huh? So yeah, whatever, it's impossible to have a place this cold next to a normal plain or forest, and yeah, the weather would be a nightmare of electricity and hurricane winds and constant rain and death and whatever, but you already knew Minecraft biomes were unrealistic. No, through the course of researching this video, I learned something. Something that I hope that you learn too, and that's this. With enough determination, experimentation, research, and stubbornness, you can find the answer to just about anything. That by wading head first into a puzzle, no matter how overwhelming and scary it may appear, you can eventually solve it and learn something in the process. Sometimes the journey to discovery means a lot more than the discovery itself. Anybody can put numbers into a formula, but it's how you get to that formula, how you find those numbers, the investigation, the inquisitiveness that makes the difference. And I think that might be cooler than even the temperatures in Minecraft. Sincerely, Austin. Thanks to my patrons who made this exhaustive deep dive into frozen temperatures possible, especially these high-tier folk I'm talking about. Juan Santa Maria, MadLad616, Miss Kendra, Ronald Coleman, Alan Hagers, AdamTP, Nicholas Spillinger, Marissa Resnick, Nick Patterson, and Loretta Mazurf. Now I have to go take a nap because this video is long. It's long.
Yo, anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. Look at me. I hope you find this video very interesting and just quite unique to watch. Quite wisdom-filled, educational, and knowledgeable as well. If you do like this video, I hope that you like this video because I really learned a lot from this video. Anyways, if you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have any share of us. Don't forget to support my channel. Thank you so much. One more time, it is like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, and comment down below if you have any share of us. But hey, that's just, oh my gosh, I need sorry. But hey, that's just the signs. The signs of. Thank you. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye. Subscribe. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Here. Alright, that is one video down. Now it's 3:13 PM in Singapore. So, how's everyone doing? Thank you all so much for dropping by to my live stream. There is CHEYENNE space NORIEGA. Noriega. Hi. Are you watching the chat? Oh, sorry. Goatron5949. Hi. Yes, I'm reading the chat right now. I'm sorry. Next is message restricted. Okay, message restricted. Okay, Fortnite X Minecraft X DC. DC as in the place DC, like the place called DC, or the like. Okay, Fortnite X Minecraft X DC at Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't think Five Nights at Freddy's is located in DC though. I'm not too sure. I'm sorry. Alright, next is KFC versus Burger Crown. Sorry, Burger King. I was thinking Burger Crown. Oh, Burger King, I'm sorry. So yeah, seems interesting. Thank you all so much. If it's me, I would prefer, to be honest, Burger King and KFC both are quite expensive for me to try. Delicious, but so if I was to choose one, if I'm a chicken fan, if I love chicken a lot, I will choose KFC, of course. If I'm a burger fan, I will choose Burger King, and under the assumption that it's under this competition. So yeah. Next is Subway cake actually bread? Alright, let's find out. This video came out in the year 2020, so this is 2 years ago. Let's do more understanding about it, shall we? Thank you so much. Okay, so how do you actually go about it? Do you have any recommendations? Goodtron5949 and also Noriega, do you have any recommendations on how should I start my introductions? Any suggestions, any ideas? Hi everyone, it's me. Subway. I just like it. So I'm not sure if it's alright. Type 1 if it's okay, type 0 is it if it's not okay. Thumbs up or thumbs down, okay? The introduction, I hope that it's alright. It will be, hi everyone, it's me. Subway, not the station. Subway sandwich. Is it a cake? In 3, okay, let's find out. In 3, 2, 1, go. Hey! Psh, psh, psh. Hi everyone, it's me, Subway, not the stations. Subway sandwich. Is it a cake? The cake is alive, right?
Here's a fun fact. The Subway foot-long sandwich is actually a foot long. That might seem obvious, but it wasn't always that way. Back in 2013, there was a viral photo of someone who took a tape measure to a Subway sandwich to show that it was actually only 11 inches in length, which led Subway to hilariously claim, quote, Subway foot-long is a registered trademark and not intended to be an actual measurement of length, even though they had explicitly highlighted the fact that it's a foot long in their ads.
But you must recognize that this came out in the year 2013, so right now it's in the year 2020, nearly 10 years have passed.
Anyway, all of this led to a class action lawsuit, and as of 2015, Subway now requires that franchisees measure the bread that they serve to ensure that when you order a foot-long or 6-inch sub, you're actually getting a 12-inch long or 6-inch long sub.
Yes, nearly a decade ago.
Fortunately, that's all behind them. Surely Subway isn't hiding any other lies from us that might...
Breaking news.
Subway's sandwich bread is not bread at all.
It's not even serving bread.
Subway's bread is actually too sugary to meet the definition of bread.
Folks, I think we got ourselves a food theory episode.
Oh! Food theory!
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory!
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory! Hi!
Don't forget to sub. Theorists,
Subscribe.
Today we're having a cold-cut convo
And ring the notification bell as well. Thank you so much. Ring the bell!
about Subway, the world's largest quote-unquote sandwich chain. And I'm putting sandwich in quotes here because as anyone who's tried the entire menu already knows, Subway is really just an amazing cookie store masquerading as a sandwich restaurant because...
I agree with you. The cookies there is just amazingly wonderful to watch. To taste. It's to eat. Why did I even say watch in the first place? Yeah. Anyways, thank you all so much. You must remember that this video came out in the year 2020, and right now it's in the year 2022. So 2 years have passed. Let's continue.
Seriously, those things are delicious.
The Cookie Monster.
In all seriousness though, recent events have thrown Subway's status as a sandwich chain into question. If you've watched Food Theory's definitive episode on what makes a sandwich, then you know the following must be true. A sandwich must legally consist of 2 pieces of bread. Of course, sub sandwiches are a bit problematic because they're served on a single split roll. Personally, I could go either way on that one, but I don't write the sandwich rules here, people. I just meticulously research them.
Yes, but chicken wing is not a sandwich.
Besides, I'm not here to split hairs about split rolls when a far more shocking revelation about Subway has recently come to light. Their bread may not actually be bread. Reportedly, Subway's famous 9-grain multi-seed, 9-grain wheat, Italian herbs and cheese, Italian white, hearty Italian, and honey oat bread varieties aren't actually bread at all. At least that's according to one ruling from the Supreme Court of Ireland. Okay, so I'll be honest, a couple weeks ago when I first saw this article appear in my feed, I dismissed it as clickbait. I mean, it is a huge accusation. Subway's bread isn't bread. It sounds insane. It sounds, well, honestly, it sounds kind of like a title of a Food Theory episode. But the algorithm definitely has me pegged as a sandwich boy, and I kept getting served this particular article again and again and again to the point where I just had to read it. And let me tell ya, the Irish Supreme Court makes some really interesting and important points about bread classification. And not only does their decision affect Subway restaurants, it could affect a whole lot of other foods and people and companies out there. But never fear, theorists, we're getting to the bottom of this doughy dilemma right now, because we need answers with a capital K. Does Subway actually serve bread, or have they been lying to us all these years? And if it's not actually bread, then what kind of unholy creation have they been feeding us? Now, let's start off by acknowledging that this isn't the first time Subway has gotten into trouble over their bread. Fun fact, if you go to Subway's own website, they have a page where they document all the changes that they've made to their bread products. According to Subway themselves, in 2014, they, quote, increased whole grains and removed caramel coloring from 9-grain wheat bread. Each 9-grain footlong now contains 100% of the whole grain requirement recognized by the Whole Grains Council and the Whole Grains Stamp, end quote. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the marketing spin that we just witnessed in that second sentence there. See, the Whole Grains Stamp that Subway is so proudly promoting actually has a few different levels. If there's some whole grains in your food, you might be allowed to display the basic stamp. If over half the grains in your food is whole grain, you get to use the 50% plus whole grain stamp. And if your food contains all whole grains, then you earn the coveted 100% whole grain stamp. Now, from Subway's blurb about their 9-grain footlong, we can see that their 9-grain bread has qualified for the 100% whole grain stamp, right? Wrong! They're tricking us with language. Subway is cleverly disguising the fact that they merely added enough whole grain to their recipe in order to qualify it for the 50% plus stamp by saying that their bread now contains 100% of the whole grain requirement for that 50% stamp. Now, why would Subway care about inflating the appearance of whole grains in their bread? Honestly, because it gives them the appearance of being healthier.
You must remember that PR is very important. If people impression about you is yeah, and if people impression about you is it's quite a lot of difference.
The term whole grain means that every part of the grain seed, the bran, germ, and endosperm are all ground into the flour. Whole grain flour therefore contains more fiber and nutrients than other flours that don't include every part of the seed, and health-conscious individuals seek out whole grain products as a result. The cost of being the healthier option, though, is taste. So basically, Subway is trying to get the street cred of being super healthy while maintaining that sugary, tasty bread that gets people coming back for more. You could say that they're trying to have their cake-like bread and eat it too. The caramel coloring, the name 9-grain bread, even the messaging around changes to the recipe are all designed to present Subway sandwiches as being healthier than they actually are. And Subway is by no means the only one doing stuff like this. Here's a Food Theory smart shopping tip for you. If you actually care about having whole grain bread or just healthier bread, make sure you're buying bread that's labeled as whole grain, which is a label based on how much of it is actually made from whole grains, and not just settling for multi-grain bread, which is a misleading marketing term that sounds healthier, but doesn't actually tell you anything about how much grain content the bread actually has. So as it turns out, Subway has a weirdly rich history of bread-related controversy. They've lied about the ingredients in their bread, they've lied about the length of their bread, and now here in 2020, they might even be lying about it being bread in the first place. Which leads us to the question that brought us here today: why is the status of Subway's bread up for interpretation? What's Ireland got against delicious bread? What horrific thing have they uncovered about Subway? Well, what it comes down to in this case is our old friend, tax law. See, in Ireland, they have something that's called a VAT, a value-added tax that's applied to all purchases. Or, I guess I should say most purchases. Now, a lot of other countries have something similar to a VAT. Generally speaking, the aim is to take the tax burden off of people buying groceries that are truly essential and put more tax burden on people who are splurging for things like sweets and prepared meals.
Alright, just stop for a moment first. I'm just glad that MadPat is doing this episode so that it includes in different countries involved. Last time he did one episode about Japan, and now he's doing one about Ireland. I'm just loving it that he is being so inclusive of his global audience. Like for me, I came from Singapore. I'm from Singapore. I'm literally watching this from Singapore, and I'm just thankful that MadPat shows so much effort and shows so much understanding towards his audience internationally, globally. Thank you so much.
In the US, for instance, nearly every state has its own variation of which items get taxed more and which get taxed less. And as you can see, it's kinda tough to categorize foods in a succinct way. Terms like food for home consumption and general groceries leave room for interpretation. And so you sometimes wind up with weird scenarios like this one in California, where hot and toasted Subway sandwiches come with a sales tax, but cold sandwiches don't. Needless to say, companies like Subway stand to make more money if they can avoid taxes wherever there's a legal gray area of this sort of nature. And in Ireland, Subway stands to save on taxes if they can convince the country to classify their sandwiches as VAT-exempt staple foods. The logic here is that sandwiches are bread-based. Bread is a staple food, therefore getting a sandwich to go from your local Subway is just like getting food from the grocery store, and therefore shouldn't incur the value-added tax. So claims Subway. The counter-argument, coming from 5 of the Supreme Court's 9 judges, is that Subway's bread isn't bread, at least in the way that tax law defines it. Remember that Subway isn't just claiming that their bread is bread from a culinary standpoint, but from a tax-exempt legal standpoint. They're claiming that their bread qualifies as a staple food.
You must recognize that context matters. The context does matters, and under different circumstances, different situations, different people that you're talking to, under different environments, it means different things. But case in point, you must remember, chicken wings are not sandwiches. Gosh, chicken wings are not sandwiches. Alright? Can you just agree on that?
But in Ireland, the Finance Act of 1985 states that the total weight of sugar, fat, and bread improver can't add up to more than 2% of the weight of the flour. And in Subway's bread, sugar makes up as much as 10% the weight of the flour. And I know that I've been dunking on Subway a lot in this episode, but it's not as though they're the only ones putting sugar in their bread. For example, a 6-inch 9-grain wheat bread from Subway contains about 3 grams of sugar. Meanwhile, their competitor Quiznos has 8 grams of sugar in their regular size artisanal wheat bread, which is approximately 9 inches in length. So Subway definitely wouldn't be the only restaurant affected by the Supreme Court's decision, which is essentially saying that just because something is called bread doesn't mean that it's a staple food. For instance, banana bread has bread in the name, but it's sweet, something closer to a dessert. Likewise for lemon bread, cinnamon bread, and since it's October, can't forget that autumnal classic, pumpkin bread. There are all kinds of sweet breads out there, and I do want to be clear that I'm saying sweet bread, 2 words, and not sweet bread, single word, which is actually a culinary term for the meat made by the thymus or pancreas of a lamb. You heard that space when I said it, right? Because the waiter a few years ago did not hear it when I said it, and let's just say I wound up with a very unexpected meal. Anyway, when you think about it, a lot of these so-called breads have more in common with cake than they do bread. You could get into the argument that the difference between cake and bread comes down to leavening techniques, but even that gets into sticky territory when you realize that not all cakes are leavened in the same way, and some breads aren't even leavened at all, as any fan of flatbreads can tell ya. And yes, technically there are leavened flatbreads. The distinction between bread and cake is impossibly complicated.
And you must remember that one of my favorites that I eat in Singapore right now, and sometimes in Malaysia, is roti prata. So, roti prata. What kind of bread is it?
So in 1972, the Irish legal system came up with a simple definition. If the sugar, fat, and bread improver content goes over 2% of what the flour content is by weight, then you're not a bread that would qualify for staple food status. You can still call your pumpkin bread bread if you want to, but it's gonna be taxed like a confectionery or a dessert. Or as Marie Antoinette said, if the people can't have bread, then let them eat cake and pay the value-added tax on every purchase of said cake. It also tells us that while this might be bread from a culinary standpoint, it means that Doctors Associates Inc. isn't serving up food that's as healthy as they want us to think.
Alright, stop for a moment first. Do you recognize the kind of sound? Yeah, that was the execution sound. Yep.
Oh, sorry, is that?
I mean, spoilers alert, it came out a few 100 years ago, so Yeah.
name unfamiliar to you? Because Doctors Associates Inc. is actually the name of the company that operates as Subway in the US. Not making that one up. I don't know why, but of all the facts that we've talked about in this episode, this one makes me feel the most icky. The small upside for Subway is that while their bread doesn't qualify for the 0 rate VAT, it does qualify for the reduced rate VAT. According to the website run by the Irish Revenue Commissioners, which is basically their version of the IRS for all you American viewers out there, bakery products other than bread qualify for this rate. But here's the face turn, people. Here's where I jump in and defend Doctors Associates Inc. Ugh. I'm on their side. The Ireland court is correct in saying that it's following Irish law, but Irish law is the outlier here. Just take it from their neighbors in Northern Ireland and the rest of Great Britain, where the Bread and Flour Regulations 1998 define bread much more simply as food that, quote, consists of a dough made from flour and water with or without other ingredients, which has been fermented by yeast or otherwise leavened and subsequently baked or partly baked. Criteria that Subway's bread would most definitely qualify for. Oh, and part of the requirement is also that it, quote, is usually known as bread, which I guess is there to keep you from taking a cake and calling it bread. Ireland did win their independence from Great Britain in the early 20th century, so they're free to choose to define bread however they wish. But
You must remember that 1922 is literally 100 years ago. Right now it's 2022, so fun fact, the more you know, 1 century ago.
the set of tax laws passed in the 1970s and reified in the 80s are starting to look a bit outdated and also a bit close-minded when you realize that even the staple food definition of bread excludes many types of breads that are considered dietary staples in other parts of the world.
I agree with you. You must remember that words change meanings over time. Different generations, different eras, different decades, centuries, millenniums. One word may mean a different word. One word may have different meanings in the same country, in the same dialect, in the same language, but different time.
Take, for example, Japanese milk bread, whose sugar content is upwards of 20% the weight of the flour it contains, and unlike, say, banana bread or pumpkin bread, which are separate confectionery items, milk bread is most definitely used as a sandwich bread. And what's more, the tax legislation's definition of the word bread doesn't match how the world uses that term, including in Ireland itself. Numerous pieces of Irish legislation, including Ireland's health regulations of 1994, actually define bread much more generously. Quote, bread includes the following and any part of the following: baps, bread rolls, fancy bread, milk bread, malt bread, and fruit bread. Now, aside from the fact that a bap is the most hilariously sounding bread product this American has ever heard of, let's take a moment to acknowledge that milk bread, the very same super sugary staple that we were discussing moments ago, is specifically defined as bread in this Irish Act passed by the Minister for Health in consultation with the Minister for Agriculture, Food, and Forestry. And
But you must remember that 1994 is nearly 30 years ago. 3 decades ago. You need updates, you need growth, you need to change.
I'm not
You need
sure
an
about
update.
you, but that's who I'd be looking to for my definition of bread way before I talk to a tax commissioner.
Room for improvements.
In short, by Irish tax law definition, Subway's bread is not bread. But by Food Theory's bread definition, it most certainly still is, even if you're in Ireland. And if Ireland has a problem with that, well, they can just go ahead and take it up with Ireland. But hey, have you ever aspired to be a true sandwich artist? Or heck, maybe you're looking for a community that'll push you to be a better writer. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, but you don't have the video production or editing know-how of where to start. Well, my friends, if any of those apply to you, let me introduce you to our sponsor for today's episode, Skillshare, an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. And I wasn't joking about that whole sandwich artist thing either. I just took a class called The Perfect Grilled Cheese taught by Alana Karp, the head chef at Plated. Not only did she quadruple my knowledge of grilled cheese in like 10 minutes, but she also had a hot tip about mixing fig jam into the cheese. Yeah, I thought it sounded crazy too, but I was so wrong. It actually made for one of the best sandwiches I've ever had in my life. Sorry, big Philly cheesesteak that I devoured during finals week junior year of college. He just got bumped out of the top 5. Folks, Skillshare is all about helping you learn and stay focused. That means no ads. Plus, new premium classes are coming out all the time. I mean, it costs less than $10 a month, so it's not gonna cost you a whole lot of bread. And best of all, the first first 1,000 people to use the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. It is totally free here, people, so stop loafing around and get better at something that you're passionate about with Skillshare. But before any of that, I need to remind you that it's all just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit.
Well, thank you all so much for watching this video together with me. I hope you find this video very interesting to watch. It's very educational, knowledgeable, and just I learned a lot of things in watching this video. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. It's very motivating, uplifting, and it just encourages you to see all your positive, wholesome messages down in the comments down below. Thank you so much. But hey, that's just a theory, a food theory. Bon appetit. Thank you. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye! Subscribe! Thank you so much. Subscribe. Alright, okay, that's good, that's good. Oh, hi Ochipala! Oh my gosh! Hi Banana Man! Oh wow! Thank you so much for coming to my live stream. Ochipala, how have you been? Oh gosh, oh wait, I can scroll up. Okay, I can scroll up. Hi, private animals. Hi! Oh my gosh, thank you all so much for keeping the chat so engaging and active. Thank you all. How have you been? Humdrum live, yes! August, oh my gosh. Feels amazing, man. Yeah. Yes, how have you been? How have you been? And thank you so much, Noriega, for being so engaging as well. I still have to watch 4 more videos from the food theory. So let's learn something new together, shall we? I just hope that watching this live stream together with me, you can like you can learn something new as well while watching my live stream because it's genuinely speaking, I really like the food theorists because their videos are very educational, entertaining, what's it called again? Edutainment, yes, edutainment for the win. So yeah, next is about the truth of the weirdest cereal in Korean. Interesting. Oh wait. I didn't do this again. Sorry. But I'm glad that MapPad is broadening out with Ireland, with Japan, and now with Korea. That's great. That's great. Broadening out for this global audience, this international audience. Like for me, I'm from Singapore, so thank you.
Democracy.
Is it? Why is it not appearing?
Online votes that went off the rails is a mile.
Alright, so let's get started. Any suggestions? Ochipala, Banana Man, Noriega, Tron, GoatTrons 5949. Do you have any recommendations, any ideas on how should I start my introductions? This is about the Korean cereal, like. So yeah. Hi everyone, it's me. Maybe I should start. Maybe I should. Maybe I shall start with something very generic. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch this video together. Alright, give me one moment first, just a few seconds and I'll be done. So let's keep it generic because it's about the Korean cereal, and yeah. So anyways, it'll be something very generic. It's like, hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch this video together. Yeah, the cereal from Korea. Sounds good? Sounds cool? Okay, anyways, oh, Noriega, thank you, thumbs up. Oh yeah, right, Ochipala, Banana Man. Yeah, okay, so I know them from back when I was doing live streaming in Twitch. Yes, so yes, Do you remember this? If you're watching this video, do you remember this? Hi! This is from Wolf Baines. Sorry, if there's anyone around, can you type in Wolf Baines' link? Like, shout out to her, shout out. Thank you so much. I do not know why I couldn't shout out over here. Sorry. I tried typing out and it just says that it cannot, so my bad. It's like, say something and then you sign in again, so, which is weird. I'm really signed in. Anyways, can someone doing Wolf Baines? She's a YouTube, she's a Twitch content creator, and she also have a YouTube channel. So let's just support, subscribe to her channel as well. Thank you so much. Follow, like, share, subscribe, comment, follow. Oh yeah. Also, how to pronounce is WOLFSBANEE. So there's 2 E's. So recently I just found out that Wolf Baines is actually a type of purple violet flower, I guess. So I'm just glad that no, I type in Wolf Bane without the 2 E's, with only 1 E. It's a flower. It's like, huh, interesting. Oh, is that why the hair color? Oh, is that why the hair color is like a purple color? Huh, interesting. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Oh, Twitch. The purple color also links with Twitch as well. So, that's very interesting. I'm just glad that I'm just glad one of her favorite colors is Wolf Bane. One of her favorite colors is linked to Wolf Bane. Yeah. Gosh, and the coincidence. She's a Twitch content creator, Twitch live streamer, and it's mostly recognized for purple color, violet color, and then Wolf Bane, the color normally associated with purple and violet. So yeah, coincidence. Interesting. Now that I put the pieces together and just link it, it's like a puzzle. Anyways, this is Sausage Lee. Get it? Because it's sausage, but it's Bruce Lee, so Sausage Lee. Oh, he doesn't have an auto zoom in. Well, anyways, this is, you can see the nunchucks, yeah. And you can see the sides, it's more towards like. Okay, so let's start. I think there's good and bad thing about my camera cannot zoom in, auto zoom in. So it doesn't have the trouble of having always to do this. I see my friends always do live stream halfway through. If they put something too close, they have to shift in, shift out for focus. I don't do that. That's not a good thing, right? Is it a good thing? I don't know. Anyways, focus. This will be about the Korea cereal. Let's keep it generic. Let's watch it as it is, okay? In 3, 2, 1, and start. Let's go! 안녕하십니까? Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch this video together about a Korean cereal.
All election season long, Food Theory has run a wholesome, positive campaign against the other theory channels.
Wholesome, positive.
But that ends now. There's simply too much at stake. Game Theory puts up big numbers, but their obsession with FNAF has severed their connection with what YouTubers really want: food. Film Theory hasn't had new theatrical releases to talk about for months. And yet both of these hypocritical channels have been photographed eating food on numerous occasions. Theorists, there's only one channel capable of tackling the all-important food tests, trends, and memes that the internet really wants. That's why on November 3rd, cast your subscription for Food Theory.
I'm Matt Pat, and I approve this message. But feel free to subscribe to the other theory channels too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Subscribe. Food Theory.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory. Hello.
here to add a pinch of election season seasoning. Loyal theorists, here in the States, Election Day is right around the corner, and let me tell you, it has been a long time coming. Technically, this election season will have lasted for 1,194 days when all's said and done, thanks to Representative John Delaney, who declared his 2020 candidacy for president all the way back in the summer of 2017. So today, in honor of this monumental US election cycle finally coming to a close, Food Theory is covering perhaps the most unbelievable food election in history. That's right, I said food election. It's not often that politics and food collide, but that's precisely what happened earlier this year in South Korea. Not only is it a surprisingly apt example of how the democratic process can be corrupted, but it's straight up one of the most absurd news stories I've ever seen. I'm telling you, this one's got it all, folks. Disgusting cereal flavors, blatant election fraud, 3D animations that have aged moderately well, and Korean music videos.
파마 찾아서 방법 찾아서 그 약속 지켜야 해.
If you don't speak Korean, don't worry, I'm gonna take you through the entire onion-themed saga that's been 16 years in the making.
Note that this video came out in the year 2020 and right now it's in the year 2022, so it's nearly 2 decades ago. This 2004, nearly 2 decades ago. So yeah, it's a bit weird.
So get ready to peel back some layers, theorists, because we're looking at how practical jokes can undermine democracy itself. Let's travel back in time to 2004 when Kellogg's came out with a Korean ad campaign that allowed fans to democratically elect the new president of Kellogg Chex World.
Which is quite ironic. You must understand that most of my audience were... Wait, if you're born in 2008 or 2004, right now you'll be probably 18 years old. Oh gosh, that's very awkward because that is 18 years old is around the range of my audience. My audience probably came out. Oh wait, sorry. Right now it's in the year 20. Right now it's in the year 2022. This video came out in the year 2020. Yeah, sorry.
By the way, if you were under the impression that Chex was a General Mills cereal, you're not wrong. General Mills owns Chex, but in South Korea, it's Kellogg's SK who has the Chex branding rights. Anyway, the campaign kicked off with this commercial, featuring our two candidates, Checky, who promised to make Chex cereal more chocolatey, and Chaka, who promised to make Chex cereal taste more like green onion. Really tough choice there, guys. Kellogg's opened up voting to the public, assuming that it would be a landslide victory for their chocolatey mascot Checky. After all, Chaka was a massively dislikable character who tried to blow up vats of chocolate and didn't hesitate to attempt murder. Meanwhile, Checky was the likable, heroic one who always saved the day by undoing Chaka's dastardly deeds. And besides, I think we can all agree that Checky is just so much cuter than Chaka. I mean, come on, the guy looks like the love child of evil SpongeBob and the Mucinex phlegm. Given that the campaign was geared towards children, Chex obviously assumed that kids would vote overwhelmingly in favor of delicious chocolate as opposed to disgusting onion. And they were probably right to think so, except they didn't just open up voting to kids, they opened it up to the entire internet, including the South Korean internet forum DC Inside, which...
But you must remember, even though the main target audience may be kids, cereals, adults, internet trolls, some people just want to watch the world burn.
To recognize the Kellogg's vote as a top-notch trolling opportunity, and so votes began pouring in from individuals who were outside of Kellogg's target demographic. As one Korean who was 13 years old at the time recalls, quote, "I was young, so I voted for chocolate. Green onion didn't sound that appetizing." She also remembers how other people around her voted green onion because they thought it was the funny thing to do. And because Kellogg's had a website that displayed an up-to-date tally of the votes, anyone with internet access could see that the joke was catching on in a big way. By the second week of voting, Chaka was way out in front. Naturally, Kellogg started sweating bullets at this point because it wasn't as though they had some warehouse full of green onion Chex ready to be delivered to stores. There was no green onion Chex. Chaka was a sham candidate who was never supposed to win the Kellogg Chex presidency, and yet the vote had somehow gotten away from Kellogg's, even after they'd seemingly done everything right. They had pitted basically the most delicious flavor in the world against the most disgusting flavor in the world.
AKA, literally, the election was rigged. Yep.
Their commercials straight up showed the children of Korea how they should be reacting. Hooray for Checky, boo for Chaka. And yet, despite Kellogg's best efforts to achieve a predetermined outcome, Chaka was on trajectory to win the presidency. So that's when Kellogg's took matters into their own hands. Realizing that they had to get the vote offline, Kellogg's added a vote by phone option, as well as in-person voting at theme parks. It wasn't enough. At this point, Kellogg's was at maximum desperation, and they ham-handedly declared a bunch of the online votes invalid, swept the whole thing under the rug, and just declared Checky the winner. And thus, the new super chocolatey version of Chex was released across Korea as planned. Of course, the Korean public immediately knew they'd been had, and over the following years, through memes and online petitions, Chaka became a symbol of the pro-democracy resistance against Checky's brutal dictatorship. Then suddenly, after 16 years of silence on the matter, Kellogg's dropped a music video apologizing for their 2004 misdeeds, announcing to the world that Green Onion Chex would finally be made available for purchase.
아름답던 시절 가슴 아픈 기억 모두 정말 미안해 추억 속에 남아 후회하기 전에 이제라도 만들래.
So, I was curious to know, was Kellogg's right to rig the vote? Has Korea been unjustly denied a cereal that's actually delicious?
You must recognize how ridiculous it is, you know, to
In order to get to the bottom of it, we here at Food Theory shelled out an exorbitant amount of money and actually got ourselves a box of this limited edition Chex flavor shipped out from Korea. Eat your heart out, Mr. Beast. I dropped like $25 on this thing, plus international shipping. So here it is. This is the cereal that launched 1,000 memes internationally.
I like the look of him. He looks like he's breathing smog.
Oh my god, the trolls, the memes. It works somehow.
This is terrible.
He reminds me of the mascot from Mucinex. That's the problem. That's the problem with Chex, is that they're kind of like pouches that saturate with milk really fast and get soggy within 30 seconds
Well, then we better
of
eat
the
it.
milk hitting the bowl.
Oh, it's already soggy. God, it's been sitting on my spoon for like 10 seconds. Come on. Oh. Now it's oniony
What is Snapchat doing, smiling?
and a little bit sweet and kind of milky. Oh.
It's real weird. It is real weird.
I can't tell if the milk improves it or makes it worse.
I don't know
actually.
if this is one of those things that like international palates will appreciate it more than I do.
I feel like we appreciate a lot of things from international palates, but
Nope.
not this one.
Nope. It is a weird mishmash of flavors that
Yeah.
should not go together. You still have that corny sweetness, but now you also have like the milky sweetness, and you still got the onion powder. It is just bad.
It is actually really kind of upsetting now. Oh.
is.
You just recognize that Stephanie is being so, yeah, this is real life. This is real life. And then MadPat is like just embracing the memes, you know. MadPat is just embracing the memes. It was a creation of trolls, jokes, and I just love MadPat embracing this kind of memes instead.
Not pleasant. Alright, so from a business standpoint, Chex was probably right to put an extra chocolatey flavor out there instead. Checky cereal is still going strong 16 years later, along with some chocolatey spin-offs like Cookies and Cream and Snowball, which honestly sounds delicious, and I wish I had ordered those from Korea rather than the green onion one. But from an ethics standpoint, Kellogg's definitely let the voting public down, and the fact that they made a super catchy apology music video isn't what I want to focus on today either. To me, the story is that Kellogg's didn't just fall victim to online trolling once, they tried the exact same thing in Japan a few years later and got the exact same results.
So case in point, it's something went from 미안해요. 죄송합니다. So to すみません. ごめんなさい.
全てのチョコワにわさびを
That's right, in 2008, 4 years later, while Korea was still reeling from their fraudulent Chex cereal election, Kellogg's went ahead and rigged a wasabi versus chocolate election for their Japanese cereal Chocowa.
Alright, case in point, you must remember that 2008, that is 14 years ago. Right now it's in the year 2022, so yeah.
Again, the public voted in favor of the grosser flavor, yet chocolate was declared the winner.
14 years ago.
So you'll forgive me if I take Kellogg's catchy Korean apology music video with a grain of salt. Still waiting to try wasabi-flavored chocowa. Besides, I'm trying to envision what a Japanese pop apology video would look like, and let's just say Weeb Pat needs it in his life yesterday. See, to me, the story of this whole thing is that it just keeps happening. Kellogg's online elections were overrun by trolls not just once, but twice. In 2012, Mountain Dew allowed voters to choose the name of its newest flavor, only to cancel the poll after Hitler Did Nothing Wrong took the lead.
Okay, this is definitely not a good sign.
That same year, Pitbull promised to do a concert at whichever Walmart store received the most votes on Facebook.
I know this. He chose the most isolated one in the United States of America.
Trolls swooped in, flooded the poll, and sent Pitbull to perform in Kodiak, Alaska, America's most remote Walmart.
Yes, super isolated.
In 2006, both Chuck Norris and Stephen Colbert were duking it out in the polls to have two separate Hungarian bridges named after themselves. The list of public online votes that went off the rails is a mile long. Bodie McBoatface, Horsey McHorseface, Mr. Splashy Pants the Whale. Just this year, Mississippi allowed the public to submit new designs for its new state flag, and this mosquito design made it to the second round before officials stepped in to remove it, calling it a typo. I repeat, this happened this year, 2020. This type of trolling is obvious.
Not this year lah. This video came out in the year 2020. Right now it's in the year 2022. So 2 years have passed.
A thing, and has been a thing for a couple decades now, and yet huge companies and organizations keep getting surprised by it. So
Surprise!
I'd like to take this opportunity to go over some of the things that they're doing wrong, because more than a few of these fixes seem applicable not only to company-sponsored online polls and light-hearted food elections, but to actual elections in the 21st century as well.
So you must remember that it's very important that try not to feed the trolls. Sorry.
Now, if you're a company or organization or even a government looking to hold a vote that actually achieves the will of the people, then trolling has got to be a concern. It's because trolling, by definition, often involves presenting an argument or opinion that you don't necessarily believe in order to elicit a negative reaction from somebody else. In the case of the Kellogg Chex election of 2004, it's pretty clear that the majority of the voters didn't actually prefer the taste of green onion to chocolate, but the opportunity to prank Kellogg's, a massive corporation who's obviously rigged a low-stakes election, it's just too satisfying to pass up. The result was a swarm of protest votes that had little to do with the issue supposedly at hand, which was giving the children of Korea a delicious but not altogether healthy cereal. And it's this swarm effect that makes elections in the 21st century so different. Protest votes are as old as democracy, but the internet has made it much easier for disgruntled voters to find one another and coordinate those protest votes. Plus, the veil of anonymity allows
protest votes and coordinated protest votes.
People to behave a lot differently online than they do in person. I mean, it's no accident that trolling is enjoying a golden age now that the internet is a thing. Scientists point to what's called the online
Case in point, do you recognize? Okay, I just noticed this thing.
In person. I mean, it's no accident that troll.
Okay. You see the bottom right-hand corner, the one with the mouse? You cover with a piece of paper. Yep, that prank is just pure evil. Super evil.
Trolling is enjoying a golden age now that the internet is a
cover the mouse with a piece of paper. Wow, that's evil.
Thing. Scientists point to what's called the online disinhibition effect. When
online distributions
people get to hide behind a computer screen, they have less restraint in how they communicate with others.
Something like anomalous.
Kind of like how people are trigger happy with their car horns from inside their cars, and yet you almost never see strangers actually raging at each other face to face on the sidewalk. In addition to the online disinhibition effect, studies have found that trolling behavior increases when there's other trolling going on. So it's kind of like peer pressure. If others are doing it, then people who otherwise wouldn't participate in such behavior find themselves compelled to join in on the joke.
But you must remember, when things get serious, when the black and white line is shown and there's no gray area, alright? We must stand by principles. We cannot choose sides. We must stand by what we value is important. We do not say this is correct, this is wrong, this is correct, this is wrong. We stand by our principles. We side with you because we side with your principle. Because of our principles. We side with you because it's our values, not because of these two particular individuals as well. Correct? We stand with values. We stand with principles. not side with others.
And this is useful info for Kellogg's and anybody else looking to hold a democratic election in the internet age, because Kellogg's botched election in Korea is pretty much the perfect example of what not to do if you're looking to achieve a result that actually matches the will of the people. First and foremost, it was a mistake for Kellogg's to publicly display the vote tally in progress. No, I'm not saying that they should have secretly altered the tally. In fact, the tallying process should be as transparent and open as possible. But if the online community was unaware that Team Green Onion was winning the battle while the election was still underway, there wouldn't have been as much peer pressure to join in on the trolling, meaning a higher percentage of the respondents would have been voting in good faith for the flavor that they actually wanted. I can't help but to think about YouTube's decision to do away with live subscriber tallies in the wake of the James Charles scandal. A huge reason James Charles, this huge beauty influencer, lost as many subscribers as he did as quickly as he did was because the public got excited to watch his subscriber tally plummet in real time.
But case in point, I really like it that MadPat linked something so serious with something so jokefully fun. So I'm thankful that MadPat is trying to teach his audience about something, such serious topics with such a fun and easy to understand point of view. Very relatable. Thank you so much, MadPat. You did a good job. And also, I really like it that you became so international. You include Ireland, you include Japan, you include Korea, and yeah, you are based in USA. So, ta-da!
I mean, people were hosting watch parties of his plummeting subscriber count. Since YouTube has implemented this new, more opaque subscriber tally, there's been no shortage of YouTuber controversy, and yet no one has lost as many subscribers as quickly. Next, it's important for modern-day elections to keep their electorate well-defined. Given that Kellogg's was trying to sell a kids' cereal, they obviously wanted kids to weigh in, and yet they took no steps to exclude older people from inserting themselves into the process. There's a reason democratic countries don't allow foreign citizens to choose their leaders, and it's the same reason Kellogg shouldn't let DC Inside select its next Chex flavor. Had Kellogg's put any type of age verification in place, maybe their Checky mascot wouldn't have come with the authoritarian baggage that he has today. Finally, and perhaps most importantly of all, the Checky Chaka election of 2004 shows how important it is to put forth legitimate, viable candidates. The reason this election turned into one big practical joke, not to mention the Japanese wasabi chocolate election as well, was because it was so obvious that it was rigged in favor of Checky. There was clearly a right answer and a wrong answer. It was a mockery of democracy, so of course people turned it into a mockery. Had Kellogg's presented two candidates that actually represented flavors the Korean public wanted, there would have been nothing to troll. Internet pranksters would have gotten no thrill from watching vanilla win over chocolate, because either way the results would have been, well, vanilla. So the takeaway from the whole Kellogg's Chex fiasco is something all elections should take to heart. Be they big or small, important or frivolous. It's tough to make a joke out of an election when there's no joke to be had. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks to all you US viewers for voting, too. If nothing else, voting allows you the right to complain for the next 4 years if and when your candidate loses. If you're in the mood for another episode about failed food industry ad campaigns, be sure to check out our episode on Burger King's cringe-inducing attempt to connect with the kids over on Twitch. Cringe aside, their ad campaign may have actually broken the law, so be sure to click that thumbnail soon before the king gets locked away for good. I'll see you all in the next episode.
Well, I'm thankful towards MadPat for teaching all of you, me, and public officials something so serious, something so major, with such a fun, enjoyable, entertaining video. Very educational. So edutainment for the win. And also, I want to watch the meme at the last part. I'm sorry.
Theory. Or important or frivolous. It's tough to make a joke out of an election when there's no joke to be had. But hey, that's just a...
Okay, the art of trolling is simple. It's simple. The art of trolling is simple. First you must... And then you... I can't read that. I can't read... You son of a... Wow, I was thinking that, how come I can't read that? So that is the troll. You are good. What the hell? Okay, anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you find this video very interesting to watch. The end part of the meme was just... yeah. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel and sincerely appreciate all of our support and encouragement from our work. Thank you all so much, you're the best, and I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory, a food theory. Bon appetit! And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Thank you so much. Please remember to subscribe. Oh my gosh, this troll, this troll is just... seriously. I mean, seriously! Huh! Okay, anyways, I got 3 more videos to watch, but that troll is really just... rage-inducing 真的是 Man, I'm mad. I'm genuinely mad.
Hi.
Okay, so this is about McDonald's not being a restaurant. Okay. Any suggestions on how should I start these introductions? How should I start this intro for my video? Any ideas, any suggestions for the food theory? McDonald's is not a restaurant. Any suggestions? Wait, let me see the chat. I'm sorry. Let me just read the chat first. Fortnite. A lot of emojis. That's a lot of emojis. Humdrum is live. Yes, Humdrum is live. Feels amazing, man. Popo G. Ochipara. Ochipara. I'm sorry, Benso. Yo, I'm sorry. This is. Wow. I'm just glad today's live stream is being so engaging and stuff. Thank you all so much, Rishi and Sylvia Kumar. I hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. Hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I love Dark Seasons. Why are you punching the screen, bro? Sorry, Jeff. Manama. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fortnite Season 1 was great. I agree with you. That's the reason why there's a Fortnite Season 2, Fortnite Season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Anyways, any ideas, any suggestions on how should I do my introductions? That's hi everyone, it's me, and today McDonald's. McDonald's. Restaurant. So I'm thinking of doing this. Okay. So I can start my introduction with asking a question towards my audience. Them is my viewers. So it's like quick question. A question for you. A question for you. So it's something similar to hi everyone, it's me, and today a question for you. McDonald's, is it a restaurant only? Okay, interesting. Let's start. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, and go. Hi everyone, it's me, and today quick questions. 3, 2, 1. Hi everyone, it's me, and today a question for you. Is it McDonald's is a restaurant? One more time, sorry. Ah, gosh. Sorry. Okay. So much NG. Hi everyone, it's me, and today, I forgot. Hi everyone, it's me, and today, a quick question for you. Hi everyone, it's me, and today, a question for you. McDonald's, is it a restaurant only? Okay, let's go. Hi everyone, it's me, and today a question for you. McDonald's, is it a restaurant only? Let's find out together. McDonald's.
Hi, I'd like to start a McDonald's franchise.
McTastic. So this says you agree to pay a franchise fee up front, a McFranchise fee if you will.
Nice.
And you'll have to pay us a percentage of all your Mc sales.
Okay.
Also, we get to pick the location of your restaurant. We own the McBuilding, and you can only McRent from us.
This is a bit more intense than I was expecting. I owe my McSoul to the company?
Should
What?
we do this another time? You seem McFlurious.
That's weird. Well, it's weird. Strange.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory. Hello.
The channel that's just a front for a thriving cat herding business. It's no secret that I'm a foodie, a fast foodie in fact, and McDonald's was my home cooking growing up. My diet was a daily rotation of McBurgers, McFries, and McSodas. Realizing that that might not be the healthiest option, I tried to get into their salads for a while, the McShakers, but to be honest, they McSucked. Sure, over the years I've watched as McDonald's has changed and evolved, classing up their dining spaces, expanding into specialty coffees, introducing video games into their play spaces. Seriously, when McDonald's first put Nintendo 64 consoles in the play area, it blew my mind. And yet, for all of that change, McDonald's has been a constant. I know what I'm gonna get. I know what it's gonna taste like. I know that the ice cream machine is gonna be broken. I know McDonald's, and so do you. Or do we? About 5 years ago, when I was searching for my first house, our realtor told me something that completely blew my mind. No joke, it was one of those moments that you have in life when your perspective completely changes about the world around you. Like when you find out that the Illuminati is actually real. I mean, what?
Oh, what? I mean, what? Yeah, what? Seriously, what?
No, forget that I said that. Anyway, our realtor told me that McDonald's isn't a food company. It's a real estate company. You heard that right. The most famous and highest grossing fast food chain in the world actually generates more from real estate efforts than they do from, actually selling food. The food is a side business for their purchasing and owning of buildings and land. In the 5 years since, this little factoid has appeared on lots of different listicles, but in all honesty, this was one of the reasons I wanted to make this channel in the first place, to tell you mind-blowing stuff like this. I mean, having multiple revenue streams is smart business, but this goes way beyond mere diversification. McDonald's is arguably the most successful restaurant chain in history, and yet they're somehow even more successful in an entirely different industry. So that's what we're getting to the bottom to today, theorists. Is McDonald's primarily a real estate company, or is that just some clickbaity distortion of the numbers? And if McDonald's is a real estate company, why? How? So put on your business socks, people, cause it's business. It's business time. Let's start at the beginning. McDonald's was founded in 1930s California by the McDonald brothers.
Yep, you must remember that in the 1930s is nearly a century ago, nearly 100 years ago. Right now it's in the year 1922. What am I saying? 1922, gosh. Okay, sorry. Right now it's in the year 2022. So it's nearly 1 century ago.
Richard and Maurice. The earliest version of the restaurant, which served hot dogs and barbecue, didn't really resemble what we know as McDonald's today, except for one thing: getting food to its customers fast. The McDonald's brothers were way into efficiency and optimization, theory for another day, and their speedy service system caught the attention of milkshake mixer salesman Ray Kroc, who teamed up with the brothers and in 1955 began building McDonald's franchises outward from California at a feverish cash pace. However, Kroc's fortunes didn't really take off until he met an investor named Harry Sonneborn, who introduced Kroc to a new way to make money in the restaurant business, real estate. This clip is from the 2016 film The Founder, a film I highly recommend if you haven't seen it. It gets really into the heart of the matter.
You don't seem to realize what business you're in. You're not in the burger business. You're in the real estate business. You don't build an empire off a 1.4% cut of a 15-cent hamburger. You build it by owning the land upon which that burger is cooked.
Spoiler alert, Sonneborn's idea proved to be wildly successful, and definitely a lot better than Dunder Mifflin Infinity. And with Sonneborn's help, Ray Kroc implemented changes that would alter the course of McDonald's history.
You must remember this decades-old decision is changing so much stuff in this current day and age. Decades-old decision.
Making him an insanely wealthy man worth over $600 million when he passed away in 1984. So,
multi-millionaire or billionaire.
Here's how the new system, today referred to as the Sonneborn model, worked. Let's pretend it's the late 50s and Joe, regular guy, wants to open up a McDonald's. To do it, he needs to purchase a franchise, basically permission to open a restaurant from Ray Kroc. Kroc is happy to sell a franchise to Joe. After all, it's his job to build out a network of McDonald's franchises across the USA. However, Kroc and Sonneborn have now added themselves a catch. In order to get a McDonald's franchise, Joe, regular guy, must agree to operate out of a building that Kroc chooses, on land that the company owns. Now, this new type of arrangement accomplishes a couple of things. First, it gives McDonald's increased control over its franchises, allowing them to strategically place the different franchises at appropriate distance away from each other, and to ensure that their locations are in the ideal parts of town. Secondly, it enables McDonald's to collect more money from its franchises than ever before. Not only does McDonald's get to collect a one-time $45,000 franchise fee and a percentage of sales from each of those franchises, but they also get rent checks from their franchises. That's right, McDonald's is also Joe, regular guy's landlord. And when there's, statistically a new McDonald's opened every 14 and a half hours somewhere in the world, that's gonna add up. McDonald's, along with many of the other fast food chains that you know and love, use the Sonneborn model of real estate ownership within their franchises to this very day. And hey, when the restaurant doesn't work out, they can always just sell the land. But wait, there's more. The real estate benefits to McDonald's don't end there. In addition to collecting rent, there's also tax benefits to be had. There's a lot of upside if you own a commercial building and know what you're doing, and boy howdy does McDonald's know what it's doing. First, the use of commercial land is a tax write-off, meaning that whatever it costs you in a year to buy and keep that land is going to come out of your income before you pay taxes. And this is important. Businesses that earn a lot of money want as much to come out of those earnings as possible, so there's as little left to tax at the end, because taxed money isn't coming back to you or your business. So they buy equipment, they give away bonuses, they invest that money, all of it to get it off the books before it gets taxed. So sure, you might not need that extra camera or whatever, but by spending money on it, you're basically getting a 20% discount on it, the 20% that would otherwise be handed over to the government through taxes. As any accountant will tell you, you want your business to basically look like it's earning $0 at the end of the year by spending that money on things that help the business but can also function as tax write-offs. I'm not saying this is wrong or right by any means, by the way. I'm just saying that it's legal, and so smart business people looking to hold on to their money try to exploit this for all it's worth. And the Sonneborn model really works that system.
So case in point, you must make sure that you must recognize the difference between your net worth, your income, your profits, so on and so forth, different categories. Yeah.
They own the land, and land is a really weird category of business because unlike other things you buy, like say your car or your phone, land isn't expected to expire or deteriorate. In accounting, this is called depreciation, and you feel it if you've ever tried to sell an old car that you've driven down into the ground. By the end of its life, it's worth practically nothing. Well, it turns out that you can use depreciation to your advantage with taxes, and accountants can spread out the cost of large purchases over the lifespan of that item. For a concrete example, let's say I buy a new BurgerBot 2000, which is capable of pumping out hamburgers all by itself, and I expect it to churn out those burgers for the next 5 years before it starts to break down. If it cost me $100,000 to buy, I can choose to amortize the cost, which is to say I can incrementally take its depreciation into account on my taxes. When I do this, I would be telling the IRS that instead of deducting the full $100,000 purchase for my BurgerBot this year, I want to instead deduct $20,000 every year for the next 5 years. Same amount, but now it's just spread out. This might just seem like a silly difference, but when you're dealing with way bigger numbers and tricky tax brackets, that kind of distributed long-term cost can massively reduce how much you owe each year. Here's how. Let's say BurgerBot and I are able to earn $50,000 in a year. If I deduct the full $100,000 cost of buying the bot on my taxes in the first year, I'd be showing the government that I wound up with a net loss of $50,000. In that year, I would pay $0 in tax because I've shown the government I didn't earn any money. But then, for the next 4 years, I'm paying 21% on my full $50,000 earnings. That's $10,500 each year for a grand total of $42,000 paid in taxes across all 5 years. That is in scenario 1, deducting everything up front. But now, let's look at scenario 2, where I spread out the cost of BurgerBot, deducting $20,000 from my earnings every year. Instead of that minus $50K on year 1 and plus $50K every other year, now I'm telling the IRS that I earn $30,000 every year. The $50K that I do earn minus the $20,000 distributed costs of the BurgerBot. I'm still paying that same 21% each year in taxes for 5 years, but now it's off of $30K instead of $50K, which winds up being $6,300 a year or $31,500 over the 5 years that BurgerBot is expected to function. That translates to an extra $10,500 that I get to keep over that 5-year period, just because of some funny tax work with depreciation schedules. Even if you didn't follow any of that example, the TLDR here is that spreading out costs can save you huge bucks in the long run. And when you're a company like McDonald's with a massive $21 billion in revenue in 2019 alone, those sorts of cost savings are gonna add up. But
yes, true. When you are not talking about millions, when you're not talking about multi-millions, you're talking about billions. Things add up fast. What's the next set of millions? Multi-million. What's the next set of multi-millions? Billions. What's the next set of multi-billions? Sorry. Millions, multi-millions. Billions, multi-billions. A lot of money.
But how do they do that? Why is any of this relevant? I just said that land doesn't depreciate. And while that's true, anything you build on that land does. Paved a lot, that's now improved land. Built a building, you can depreciate that. And there's a really weird loophole that helps McDonald's here in a big way because rented land can be depreciated. And almost all of McDonald's land is rented. Only 7% of McDonald's locations are actually owned and operated directly by the company. The remaining 93% of locations are franchises. Thanks to all of those locations, in 2019, McDonald's reported $1.39 billion in total depreciation, which accounts for roughly $292 million in a single year of tax savings, which is a lot of money, but with annual revenue of $21 billion, it's barely a rounding error. And that's why it's now time for us to talk about revenue versus earnings. Revenue is the total amount of money you pull in, period. You don't subtract costs, you don't subtract taxes, you just count up all the money that you collected in the year, and that is your revenue.
Case in point, I'm just thankful towards NetPad for being so educational about economics stuff. Thank you so much. I hope that you learned something new. I learned a lot from this video.
Earnings are different. That is what you actually made at the end of the year after you factor in all of your costs. When you look at McDonald's, their revenue and their earnings tell totally different stories. Remember how I said McDonald's only owns and operates 7% of its locations? Well, that 7% makes up a whopping 47% of its revenue. That's right, the 7% of company-owned locations make almost the same amount of money as the 93% of franchises combined. But owning the locations comes with a lot of costs. So when it comes to earnings, the script actually gets flipped. The company-owned locations need to pay all their expenses, from equipment and staff to the land costs. That means that despite pulling in $9.42 billion from their company-owned locations in 2019, they only kept $1.5 billion of those earnings. Meanwhile, McDonald's barely has to do anything to keep its franchises running, since that's the franchisee's job. As a result, McDonald's gets to keep about 86% of the franchise revenue as earnings, meaning that of the $11.6 billion that they made in 2019, they got to keep over $10 billion of that. So what percent of all that is rent as opposed to money from, you know, actually selling hamburgers? You remember from way back when you thought that that was what this company did? Well, McDonald's doesn't break it down in their financial reports, but we can make use of the numbers we have available to make a reasonable guess. We know McDonald's 2,770 company-run locations make $9.42 billion, or $3.4 million each on average. If we assume that their company-owned locations make close to the same as franchised locations, it means each franchise would be paying 4% of that, or about $136,000 to McDonald's in franchise fees every year. For its 35,925 franchise locations, that's roughly $4.9 billion off of franchises for the food, for a total of $6.4 billion in food. McDonald's reported $13.15 billion in 2019 earnings, so the remaining $6.75 billion that's left is going to be new franchises, and finally, all that real estate. $6.4 billion in food versus $6.75 billion in all the rest. We have ourselves a close race, my friends, but we can say that McDonald's makes more in non-food earnings than direct food earnings. So there you have it, friends. What was true in Ray Kroc's day is still true today. McDonald's makes more money from real estate than they do from hamburgers. And what's more, McDonald's has been leaning even harder into real estate in recent years. From 2015 to 2019, McDonald's sold off over half of its company-owned locations, in many cases making a tidy profit off the land that they were invested in, and shifted more of their reliance away from running an actual restaurant and more towards being a real estate firm that happens to build all its buildings with golden arches out front. And who can argue with this approach, at least from a business standpoint? Their massive commercial real estate portfolio has allowed them to weather the 2020 insanity with relative ease. McDonald's Corporation stock has fully recovered from COVID, and as of the making of this video is trading near an all-time high. It's a similar story with other major restaurant chains too, like Starbucks and Wendy's, who took a page from Sonneborn's book and have gotten into the real estate game themselves.
But you must recognize that this video came out in the year 2020 and right now it's in the year 2022. And you must remember there's the unfortunate case globally in Europe. So yeah, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. In the year 2022.
In fact, the practice of collecting rents from your own franchises has pretty much become par for the course for major restaurant chains. Meanwhile, smaller restaurants who don't have the luxury of being their own landlords have been hit real hard this year. And I mean real hard. It's estimated that 85% of all independent restaurants in the United States could permanently close by the end of this year. So let me leave you with this thought, theorists, especially those here in the US where COVID is still surging and where many small businesses missed out on the limited number of Paycheck Protection Program or PPP loans that were made available to American companies. If you happen to be in a position where you're able to choose between local restaurants and national chains, consider ordering local, more now than ever before. Oh, and if you happen to be in a position to start a restaurant, consider becoming the landlord too. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. Well, you made it to the end of a McDonald's-themed food theory episode. Might I interest you in another McDonald's-themed food theory episode? We recently took a deep dive into the world of fast food fries, crunched the numbers, and figured out which fries are objectively the best for your spending dollar. That is what Food Theory does here, folks. We tackle the big questions, so be sure to subscribe, hit that bell for more, and I'll see you all next week for something a little less mathy, but just as fun.
I like the math, I like the geekiness, but I'm a nerd. But having said that, it's just a wonderful taste. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Anyways, if you do like this video, if you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share with us down below. Don't forget to follow my channel, and sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you so okay, that's awkward. Thank you all so much for being so supportive, motivating, and uplifting. Thank you so much. It's very encouraging. Okay. But hey, that's just a theory, a food theory. Bon appetit. Thank you. then I hope to see you all in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye. Subscribe. Alright. Sorry. I love the dark seasons. Awesome. Why are you punching your screen, bro? I'm sorry. So thumbs up. It's real. Okay. So anyways, give me one more first. I need to my laundry. Yeah. You can hear the thunderstorms. You can hear the flashings, the thunderstorms. Yep. I'm gonna give me a while first. Okay. I'm going to give me a moment first. I'm finding the time, the countdown. I can't find a countdown for some reason. Where's the countdown? I can't find a countdown. Goodness. What to do? It's somewhere around here, right? Yeah, there you go. Countdown. Is it appearing? Oh no, it's not appearing! Oh, there you go. It's appearing. Okay. So I'll be back, okay? I'll be back. I'm back. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for waiting for me. Thank you. I'm sincerely grateful for everyone's attention. So right now is still got 2 more episodes to watch. This is the Fruit Loops, 22 minutes, and this is 20 minutes. Gosh, these two are long videos, man.
This cereal is totally tubular. What?
Gosh, if I didn't do my laundry just now, just clear my laundry just now, and I continue doing, well, it's gonna be very long. Good thing I stopped it for long first. So let's continue. This is about Fruit Loops. So hi everyone, it's me, and today Blackburns Ken 2, thank you so much for coming over to my live stream. How do you do? How do you do? Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's learn about the secrets, the food secret. Okay, let's start. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Hey! Hi everyone, it's me, and today, sorry, let's start with something similar. Alright, let's start. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's learn about the secret, a food secret, together.
This cereal is totally tubular. What, you agree, 90s kid 2?
Couldn't agree more, 90s kid number 1. The cereal's the bomb.
What do you think, 90s kid 3?
I mean, the cereal's fine. I'm just wondering why we're eating breakfast in a heavily graffitied alleyway. Like, did one of you actually carry these bowls, silverware, cereal boxes, and milk all the way from your house to this heavily graffitied alleyway?
No.
We're overthinking this, dude.
Did we meet here spontaneously? Did we actually call each other to rendezvous for breakfast in a heavily graffitied alleyway?
You are thinking too much about it. This is an advertisement, this is a commercial.
I don't know, dude. It's the 90s, okay?
And stop saying heavily graffitied alleyway.
Why is only one of my overall straps buckled? Where are our parents?
Good questions. Good questions. Food Theory.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory. Hello.
Parents just don't get it. We theorize what we like. Now, I started this channel as a way to tackle the big questions in the world of food. Is a hot dog a sandwich? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Does Chuck E. Cheese actually recycle its pizza? And does every 90s kid who ever ate cereal in a heavily graffitied alleyway knows there's no bigger unanswered food question than this?
If they named it Applejack, shouldn't it taste like, well, apple?
That's right. Today, Food Theory is finally answering the question that's been lingering since Apple Jacks was introduced back in 1965.
Yes, think about it. 1965. That is more than 60 years. Oh wait, is it 60 years already? Yeah, more than 60 years already. Wow. Wow.
What does it taste like?
Wait, 60 years? Nearly 60 years, around 60 years.
Now, since the very beginning, Apple Jacks has said that its cereal is
cinnamon toasty, apple tasty.
A claim that they still make today, both in commercials and on the box itself. But as their famous ad campaign from the mid-90s points out, cinnamon and apple aren't the flavors that actually stand out when they hit your taste buds.
I don't get why you'd like a cereal called Apple Jacks that doesn't taste like apple.
We know why. Yeah.
Okay, geniuses, why? Good answer.
See, the net taste of Applejack cereal is something unique, something that's immediately recognizable but difficult to put your finger on. Decades later, we still don't have ourselves a definitive answer until today. Because Food Theory discovered a new way to approach this conundrum, and it all begins with acknowledging that Applejacks is actually a different cereal. You heard that right. I'm saying Applejacks is not really Applejacks. Follow me on this. Let's start by talking about Kellogg's Corn Flakes, a cereal that's been around since the 1890s. Over the years, Kellogg's has tried a few different varieties of cornflakes, including a sugar-frosted version in 1952 that's today marketed to kids as Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Yep, this is, right now it's in the year 2022, so this is 70 years ago. Wow! 70 years ago.
In your part of the world, you may also know them as Frosties, Zucaritas, Sucralose, Corn Frosty, or Corn Frost. Now, as you might suspect, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes and Kellogg's Corn Flakes are the same cereal, aside from the fact that one has an added sugar coating and the other does not. This is all to say that a freshly toasted baby cornflake in the factory might wind up in either a cornflake box or a Frosted Flakes box, depending on which assembly line it gets assigned to. A comparison of the two cereals' listed ingredients also confirms this. Milled corn, sugar, malt flavor, salt, salt. And get this, not only are Corn Flakes and Frosted Flakes' listed ingredients, minerals, and vitamins identical, but they're also listed in the exact same order. That's important because, as the International Food Additives Council explains, quote, food labels are required to list all ingredients contained in the food in descending order based on the amount found in the final product. That is to say, if sugar is listed ahead of malt flavor, that means the food product contains more sugar than malt flavor by weight. So in this way, food labels allow us to compare ingredient amounts relative to each other. So why the heck am I rambling about Corn Flakes and Frosted Flakes when this episode is supposed to be about Apple Jacks? Well, hold on to your alphabets for a second, because here's the thing that for some reason nobody is talking about. Apple Jacks are Fruit Loops with an extra step, exactly the way Frosted Flakes are Corn Flakes with an extra step. I mean, look at the two cereals side by side. Wake up, sheeple. They're the same size and shape. They're the same shade of orange. They're the same shade of green. They're both Kellogg's cereals. If it weren't for the little specks of red, I defy anyone to try and tell them apart. And when we compare the listed ingredients of both cereals, it's like deja vu all over again.
Wow.
We see that every
deja vu. I just been to space before, higher on the streets, and I know it's my time to go. Calling you, and such is a mystery. Standing on your feet. I'm sorry.
Major ingredient in the two cereals is identical and listed in the identical order. As we get toward the end of the list, among the ingredients that constitute 2% or less of the cereal by weight, we do get a few differences. The colors, for example, are listed in different orders. This, of course, is to be expected because Fruit Loops cereal pieces come in a wider variety of colors than Apple Jacks. But coloring aside, it's clear that Fruit Loops is the base cereal, and any orange or green Fruit Loop pieces may be destined to one day become Apple Jacks once they receive an extra coating with red speckles that make them taste different. The fact that Fruit Loops were introduced a couple years before Apple Jacks came along also supports this theory. See, there is no list.
This coincidence, true. The coincidence is there.
Ingredient in Fruit Loops that doesn't also appear in Apple Jacks. Keep in mind, maltodextrin, a flavorless binding agent, is sometimes listed as modified cornstarch and is also found in modified food starch. So, despite that discrepancy in terminology, that ingredient is actually shared by both of these cereals. Furthermore, food distributors have some leeway to decide how to list out their ingredients. For instance, while modified cornstarch is only listed on the Apple Jacks label, that ingredient may very well be present in Fruit Loops under modified food starch, a catch-all term that does include modified cornstarch. But enough about the ingredients shared by both cereals. The ingredients of interest here are the ones that appear only on the Apple Jacks label: dried apples, apple juice concentrate, cornstarch, cinnamon, wheat starch, baking soda. Now, cornstarch and wheat starch are mostly flavorless, used to add texture more than taste. So basically, in the end, the ingredients that differentiate the taste of Apple Jacks from the taste of Fruit Loops are apple and cinnamon, just like like the box suggests. And so this must be why the flavor of Apple Jacks is so difficult to pin down. It's a complex mix of flavors. Not only does Apple Jack cereal taste like apple, not only does it taste like cinnamon, but it also tastes like Fruit Loops, specifically the orange-colored ones and also the green-colored ones, ever since green Apple Jack pieces were added in 1998. I mean, that's a lot of different fruit flavors competing for your taste buds' attention, because as we all know, orange-colored Fruit Loops are orange-flavored and green-colored Fruit Loops are lime-flavored, right? I mean, sure, the label just says natural flavors, so we can't really verify that in any way, but still, there are oranges and limes plastered all over Fruit Loops commercials. Toucan Sam even explicitly states orange and lime are flavors.
I love that orange, lemon, cherry, lime, and berry flavor too.
Now, Toucan Sam only lists off 5 flavors in that clip, but here in the US, we actually have blue-colored loops as well. Take that, other countries that have stricter regulations against artificial coloring. Naturally, I wanted to fact-check my suspicions that the blue loops are blueberry flavored, and that's when it happened. I stumbled upon information that completely changed my worldview. Folks, I honestly can't believe the words that are about to come out of my mouth because I can hardly believe it myself, but my research is telling me that Fruit Loops are all the same flavor. You heard that right, all the colors taste identical. I mean, I swear as a kid I could taste a difference between each colored loop, but then again, I also swore that Berenstain Bears was spelled with an EI, the Berenstain Bears, so maybe I need to stop trusting my childhood brain quite so much, because
True, there's something called the Mandela effect, so the more you know, I guess, the more you know.
apparently in 1999, Kellogg's revealed to The Straight Dope that their cereal pieces were indeed all the same flavor. And then again in 2014, a Fruit Loop spokesperson admitted the same to KLTV7 in East Texas. The name of that flavor, Fruit, spelled with 2 O's, which is apparently a blend of fruit flavors. According to the Fruit Loop spokesperson, Fruit is a medley of exactly 7 flavors: orange, lemon, cherry, raspberry, apple, blueberry, and lime. That means Toucan Sam is technically telling the truth when he says there's orange, lemon, cherry, lime, and berry flavors present in the cereal. He's just being a bit misleading about the fact that every single cereal piece, no matter its color, contains a blend of all of those flavors. You know what though? I need to verify this for myself because I'm telling you, my childhood brain absolutely 100% tasted different flavors. And also I distinctly remember the commercials where loops were being extruded from individual fruit pieces. So I just can't take Kellogg's word on this one. Not when my own taste buds have told me otherwise my entire life. And that means it's time for a blind taste test.
A blind taste test. In real life, blind taste test. IRL, yeah.
So we are here today with the glorious task of determining what Apple Jacks actually taste like.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Stephanie.
Because as any 90s commercial will tell you, they don't taste like apple. And then, of course, the parents always like, well, then what do they taste like?
Right.
Why do you like them? And the kids never have an answer.
Right, there's never an answer to this question until today.
Yeah, they're always just like, we just do, and then everyone laughs them off because they're stupid kids. Have rationale for your likes and dislikes, people.
Those commercials always drove me crazy.
Me too!
Like, well then, give them an alternative. If you don't want them to tell you it tastes like apples, then give them something else to go on.
Right? Even if
give them options to choose from. Come on, man. You are supposed to be the adults.
if it's like sugary sweetness, or like, why do you like them? Cause they're crispy, cause they're fun little O's that I can make necklaces out of. Literally any explanation will do. The box is a great color. I don't know, in our quest to determine
maybe it's rectangular and I like rectangular. That could be a reason.
What flavor?
A small reason, but that could be a reason. A very unique one.
Apple Jacks is, we stumble across the fact that Fruit Loops are actually the same cereal. Apple Jacks is just a Fruit Loop with 1 or 2 added ingredients. It's crazy, right? Which leads to the question of, well then what flavor are Fruit Loops? And I swear, as a kid, I swear that every single color had a different flavor. The internet tells me otherwise.
Yeah, the internet, according to research online, Fruit Loops all actually have the same flavor regardless of what color you're eating.
To be fair, I wanted to put it to the test, right? Like, sure, online research is one thing, but the nice thing about having a channel to do this, we can do these tests ourselves. So
and it can be justified as being proper work. Eating snacks. Eating the cereals.
Today, we're gonna determine whether or not Fruit Loops are actually the same flavor. Step 1, we're gonna flavor test each of these visually, see how they taste, but then we're gonna blindfold ourselves, taste them again, see if we can actually accurately predict the different flavors.
Okay.
So case in point, what I think they're trying to say is do one time and go for it, and second time is close your eyes and something like that. Something like that, right? Hopefully I'm correct.
The different flavors.
Okay, so taste them with eyes open, taste them blindfolded.
Yep, that's it. Okay, red.
Starting with red.
Cherry, obviously. Yeah, cherry. Kind of, I mean,
How is
cherry.
that supposed to be cherry?
Cherry in the synthetic sense. Got a little sharp berry flavor.
Maybe on the back end. Maybe on the back end.
Okay, blue.
Okay, blue. What is blue supposed to be?
Blue should be berry.
Berry.
What? Is blue raspberry?
Probably a blue raspberry.
Is it blueberry?
I would assume it's either a blueberry or
Berry.
blue raspberry. Right?
Smell. Do they smell different?
It's very generic. Berry. Duh.
Too?
This one tastes less sharp than the red. The red tasted sharper, didn't it?
Okay, and I think maybe this is tasting like blueberry. Maybe?
It would be a very pungent blueberry. Lemony yellow. I know lemony
This
yellow.
smells lemony yellow. Smell.
Oh yeah, it smells lemony yellow. Oh yeah, well, that's definitely lemony yellow.
I think it tastes like lemon.
Yeah, that one feels lemony yellow.
I don't know.
Orange, orangey orange, right?
This is lime?
That's supposed to be lime.
Because they're all citrus then.
Unclear about all of these. I think there's a difference. I'm not sure. The only way to know,
I think there's a difference.
right? Load up the blindfold. Here we go.
So Matthew's blindfolded up, and next I'm going to line up each flavor one by one right here so we have them very clearly distinguished, and I'm going to give them to Matthew in a totally random order, not telling him which one is which. We'll see if he can tell any of them.
Good luck, my pet. Good luck.
Ooh, that smells like lemony yellow.
Okay.
Immediately off the bat. Maybe a little orangey orange, but let me do the taste. I'm getting a lot of sugary sweetness there.
That's correct. So far, you're spot on.
It's got that little cardboardy aftertaste.
Stop.
Cardboard after this cardboard. Yeah, of course, cardboard.
Stalling, you gotta pick one.
Clearly it's orange.
Loop 2, here we go.
Loop dose.
Nose.
This one is a slightly subtler citrus, I think.
Is it?
They're very citrusy. Okay, slightly subtler citrus. Here we go. So it's not as citrusy as the other one. It does have a very, it's the same. I noticed that loop was actually significantly smaller than the one that came before.
It did happen to be, yes.
Yeah, which makes me want to say it was purple, because when we were doing the first taste test, the purple one seemed to be smaller for some reason. I don't know why.
Do you want a larger one of that same color?
Yeah, give me a larger one of that same color.
I don't want to bias you.
Yeah, don't bias me because
Okay,
of the
right,
size.
here's the smell.
Is this the same color?
Mm-hmm, same smell as
I
the
can
one
tell
you
it's
just
the
got.
same.
We're still on loop 2 here.
It smells like your perfume. Oh yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, my pet looks like struggling to find an answer. It's so cringy.
It's either purple or blue.
You can do it.
Gotta pick one.
I'm gonna say purple on that one.
Loop 2, recorded purple. Moving on to loop 3.
Okay.
Smell?
Smells like citrus.
Does it
smells
smell like
generic
sugar?
citrus.
Yeah?
Here, waft it again.
Here.
Come on.
Ooh, okay, yeah. That's
You can
either
do it.
lemon or lime
Yeah,
right
you can
there.
do it, you can do
Okay.
it.
Clearly that is a lime.
Okay.
Easy.
Got it.
Easy. 100% every time.
Loop number 4. Smellsies?
I'm getting stuffed after all these.
I like it. The animation just zoom the eyeballs.
I figured.
Oh, it smells citrusy like everything else. All right.
In we go.
Ooh, subtler. Much subtler.
I thought you would say that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that might be blue.
All right, sniff the wheelie.
Okay, sniff the wheelie. It smells like lemon, like everything else that's come before.
Oh, fantastic guess. Open up.
This one isn't that strong. I think this is a cherry.
Do you want a spittoon?
That's a red. It's a red.
Okay, oh, that was cherry. That was clearly the cherry. Okay.
That's a strong, pungent citrus. Boop. Ooh, that's a thick.
Come on, get one correct, man. You can do it. Get one correct.
I know that.
But I'm dummy thick.
Huh. I will say this flavor feels, for whatever reason, less flavorful than a lot of the other ones that have come before.
Really?
Yeah, both this one and the piece that you gave me before.
Wait, one more.
Weird. Huh. Yeah. And maybe it is just me imagining it or whatever, but it feels like the least flavored of them.
Here, wait, one more.
Huh, weird. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that specific flavor, but I'm not getting a whole lot of differentiatedness to it. Like they all...
You must recognize that Stephanie is just putting a prank at the end. It's like different colors involved.
I feel kind of neutral.
No way.
Yeah, so I'm gonna guess that one's yellow.
I'm determined to find one of this color that actually tastes like something for you. Here,
Yeah,
here,
okay.
put it in.
Such a good spouse, such a good wife. It's like, I'm definitely not pranking you.
Still nothing?
It's all for experiments.
Yeah, still nothing.
And I just love it that MatPat is being so supportive and just going along with it. This sort of experiments, it's this kind of couple power. Yeah. I love this kind of combination. It's just wonderful to have. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. Here, try.
Very uplifting, very positive image to have.
One more.
Okay, I'll
Maybe
try one more.
Maybe
Thank you so much, MatPat. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you.
it's just this flavor,
Maybe it's just this color that just doesn't have any flavor to it.
or maybe my pet. No, that one is pretty good.
Oh,
alright.
we got one. Well, the last 4 I've given you have been different colors, so. Do you want to learn how you did?
How'd I do? Did I
Okay.
get 10 out of 10?
Beating the odds, actually. You managed to get 100% of those completely wrong.
Yeah!
Not even by blind guessing did you get one right. So 6 flavors.
Yes, that means 100% of it is absolutely wrong. 100% of it.
Flavors is a lot to choose between to make sure it's fair and also to give us the best odds of actually being able to tell a difference in the flavors. We brought it down to 2. So Matthew picked red and yellow as the 2 flavors he thought would be most distinct. And we're gonna try those. So we have 10 of each, and I'm basically going to give 1 at a time to Matthew, and all he has to do is a 50-50 coin toss, and we're going to see if he can beat the averages.
Yeah, do I?
Beat the odds of, 50-50, maybe 0% correct. 0% correct. What are the odds? Let's find
I
out.
play better than chance
Yeah,
at this point.
exactly. Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you which pile they come from. I'm just gonna pick one up. I'm gonna put them right next to each other so you can't hear which pile I'm picking up from,
Okay.
all of that. All right, ready?
Yep.
Loop 1,
Red,
loop 2,
red,
loop 3,
red,
loop 4,
red,
loop 5,
lemon, yellow,
loop 6,
red,
loop 7.
red. Oh, they all taste
Oh my god, just from this, oh my god, you only got 2 corrects, 5 wrongs already.
same. Yellow,
Loop 9,
yellow,
loop 10,
red,
loop 11,
yellow.
loop 12.
Oh my god, you're beating the odds. Oh. Oh.
Yellow. I know I'm out of red at this point.
Loop 13. Do you want to concede defeat?
Yellow. Keep going.
Okay, ready? Loop 14.
Yellow.
15.
Just make it stop. Okay.
The last 4, the last 3 is just like, gosh, I'm running out of reds. Let's go yellow.
All right. Red.
You have gotten less than 50% correct.
No! So there you have it, friends. I know the internet's talked about this, but now I can confirm it firsthand. There is no difference between the different colors of Fruit Loops and the flavors. They're all this general citric acidy lemon-esque flavor.
And interestingly, from the ingredient list, it seems like one of the only or the very few ingredients that could actually give something that flavor is the extra vitamin C that they try to shove into the cereal to make moms buy it. So like the ascorbic acid in there may make it actually taste like a little citrusier, and other cereals wouldn't have that necessarily in it. So
Fruit Loops has vitamin C. It actually has 25%. Apple Jacks, no vitamin C whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest.
And almost every other ingredient is the same between these 2 cereals.
In the same order.
Yeah, and they're in the exact same order. So we would expect them to look and taste almost identical, except for maybe the citrusiness over here, and then whatever Apple Jacks actually taste like.
Okay, Kellogg's, you won this round. I concede that all your cereal pieces, no matter the color, taste like fruit. So Apple Jacks then aren't just apple and cinnamon flavored, they're apple, cinnamon, and fruit flavored. And to prove that they're in the same flavor family, we did another blind taste test. This time with Steph wearing the blindfold and having to pick out whether I was feeding her Fruit Loops or Apple Jacks.
Here, one last bonus experiment. Mystery Loop 1.
Okay. Oh, it's a Fruit Loop.
Loop 2.
Oh, also a Fruit Loop. Oh, jeez.
Loop 3.
This is still a Fruit Loop. Stop giving me Fruit Loops.
Loop 4.
This still tastes like Fruit Loops.
Loop 5.
I am not kidding. Are you just giving me all
Wait. The first 4 are Fruit Loops. And then, psychologically speaking, like, maybe the 5th one is also Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops, I'm starting to get really paranoid. Okay, this is an Applejack. Oh god, finally an Applejack. Applejack. Applejack all the way. An orange one.
Loop 7.
Is it a Fruit Loop or an Applejack? Shoot.
Confused.
I can't tell if it's because my tongue is really mottled or what.
Loop 8.
Oh no. Fruit Loop?
Okay.
I'm getting so uncertain now. I feel like you're just messing with me.
Loop 9.
Come on. Applejack, no bad aftertaste. No wait, that was a Fruit Loop. I can't tell. Oh no! That was an Applejack. That was a Fruit Loop. Oh no!
What was it?
I really don't know.
The first few you're doing so well, and the last few you go confused. Like Pokemon, use confusion.
That's really
I
interesting.
really don't know.
And that's because there's one other standout flavor in all of this. One other flavor that goes beyond the sugar and the cinnamon and the synthetic fruit. The flavor that brings it all together, cardboard. And that's not me trying to be mean or anything, it is the scientific truth. A big reason these cereals have a cardboardy taste to them is cellulose, aka fiber. Apple Jacks and Fruit Loops have added fiber in the form of oat fiber and soluble corn fiber. Our bodies are unable to break down fiber, and so these large cellulose molecules remain intact and actually brush away bacteria and build up as they travel through our intestines. That's why it's important to have fiber in your diet. Even though the body can't digest it, fiber helps keep your digestive tract operating smoothly. Fiber is a vital component of paper products, including cardboard. So if you've ever
and you must remember oat. Literally 3 oat, the kind of sawdust, that kind of thing.
ever thought that your oatmeal or cereal tastes like cardboard, because it kinda does. They share ingredients. Now, I set out today to pin down the taste of Applejack cereal once and for all. And what I've discovered is that there are 4 major flavors at play here. Sugar, cardboard, apple cinnamon, and fruit punch, which we now know is basically a citrus blend. And having tasted a fair number of Applejacks for this video, I'd keep the flavors in that precise order. Sugar dominates, cardboard comes on strong, and then cinnamon with mild fruit notes at the end. So here it is, friends. Apple Jacks taste like sugar, cardboard, cinnamon, citrus punch. That is the official flavor of Apple Jacks. It's no wonder that the 90s ad campaigns didn't want the kids to talk about it. We Eat What We Like is far more catchy and still has us talking about it to this very day. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. Thanks for watching, loyal theorists. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future food theory episodes. Push us above the 2 million mark so we can hit that milestone before 2021.
And remember to ring the notification bell as well. Thank you so much.
Now, I know I've been going pretty hard on the cereal-themed episodes lately. After doing 3 of them in a month, I guess you could call me a cereal theorist. But in case you haven't seen them all, make sure to check back on the previous episode about green onion checks. It is a real thing from South Korea, and if you're wondering why anyone would want such a disgusting tasting cereal treat, the answer is very simple: democracy. So if any of that sounds intriguing to you, make sure you click the link on screen to go watch that video. By the way, that green onion cereal has itself an oh-so-Korean music video, and it is an absolute bop.
Well, democracy for the win. Thank you all so much for watching this video together with me. I hope you find this video very interesting to watch. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. I hope that you find this video very educational, and I hope that you learn a lot from it. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Sincerely grateful and thankful towards all of you for being so supportive, encouraging, and uplifting. It's very wholesome, positive. I'm just thankful towards all of you for being so nice, and you're the best. You are really the best. Thank you. Gosh, that's 26 minutes long. That is a long video. Anyways, one more video before I end my live stream today. Oh, hopefully I can finish before. Hopefully I can finish it before 5:30. Right now it's 5 p.m. You're cooking your Thanksgiving. Oh, this one is from November. So chat and everyone in watching my live stream right now, do you have any suggestions, any ideas to start my introductions, any intro, any I'm hearing, any suggestions, any for my introductions? This is about you are cooking your Thanksgiving turkey wrong. Any suggestions? I'm open to suggestions. Anything? Hi everyone, it's me, and today hello, hi J. Oh my gosh, oh, Benj, oh, hi, oh, hi Shippy, hi Jane, oh my gosh, hi. How are you? No. How are you? Gosh, how have you been? I watched your recent YouTube videos. It's just amazingly fun to watch. Very enjoyable and just entertaining to watch as well. Thank you so much for coming over. And Shippy, that's a good idea. I'm going to add in Yummy together. Alright, Yummy. How have you been? Oh gosh, Jane. 你最近还好吗？最近还好吗 ？Yummy. Yummy. Turkey. How have you been? Thank you so much. Oh gosh. Oh, let's watch this video. Oh gosh. Gosh. Thank you. How is it right now at your place? Right now. I'm like very because the chat has been so quiet for the past 10-20 minutes, and it's like awkward. But I'm just thankful for I'm Goose. Goose. Oh, I'm Duck. Goose and Duck. Get it? Goose, Duck. Good. Oh, good. Oh, hello. Selamat. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Okay. So how do you think of Shippy, Noriega, Jane, everyone, Ochipala, everyone watching this video? Any recommendation on how should I start these introductions? Any suggestions? I got this Yummy from you, so let's learn to I got it. Congrats on 1K subs. Yes, I know, right? Oh my gosh, I hope that you also get your recent 100 subscribers, right? I subbed to you already. I watched all of your videos. I really watched all of your videos. But I noticed that, the recent video I've not watched it, I'm going to watch it later. I noticed that some of your videos, right, comments are off. I want to show encouragement. I want to show encouragement to the videos. I want to comment down. I noticed that some of your videos comments are off. Like for me lah, I upload one video every single day, 6 p.m. 6点，每天6点下午我 upload 一个新的 video 对吗？ And then if you miss commenting on one video, at least you can comment on another video. If you miss this video, you can comment on another video. Another day. But I recognize that it's kind of difficult. Different styles of live streaming, uploading schedules. So if you upload one video per day, if you miss one comment, sure. But if you upload one video per week, one video, a bit hard to a bit not the best lah. So maybe comments are okay. I have not watched the latest video there lah. I'm sorry. Congrats. Yes, thank you so much, Shippy. Thank you so much. No, thank you. Terima kasih. Okay, let's focus. I need to cook a chicken. That sounds weird. Cook a turkey. Okay, so the introduction will be, hi everyone, it's me, and today let's learn to cook a yummy. Let's learn to cook. It should be CO. Hopefully it's okay. Gosh, feet. let's learn to cook a yummy turkey. Okay. It's not. And that's the reason why my computer is not the best. Oh yes, bingo, finally. Okay, so sounds good, right? So the intro will be type 1 if you think that it's good, right? It'll be, hi everyone, it's me, and today let's learn to cook a yummy turkey together. Sounds good? Sounds good. Like is this introduction a good introduction? Hopefully it's good. Yeah. Anyways, Jane, I'm thinking of doing I know I watched one of our videos, right? And then some of our videos I think that the thumbnails can be improved. So here's my idea that I'm pitching to you. Okay. So here's my idea that I'm pitching to you, Jane. Oh, you like my duck? Ah, thank you so much. This is from Ufbain. You know Ufbain? Donald Duck. But thank you so much, Shippy. Thank you so much. Donald Duck. No, this is you know Bruce Lee, Lee Xiaolong, Bruce Lee. This is like sausage Lee, like a sausage like that. Anyways, okay. So here's my pitch. Because after I read to the game theorists, the film theorists, the food theorists, I'm a fan of them. I want to pay homage to them because their videos are very educational, very entertaining, and very enjoyable. After watching this, the latest one already, right? I got time. I'm going to live stream myself editing thumbnails. Hopefully I can do that with my current computer. Probably not. Hopefully lah. Then after I finish live streaming myself editing my thumbnails, I want to help my friends. And I want to help Karakiti, I want to help Ufbain, I want to help Goof Guy, I want to help Amalis, I want to help Zumi, I want to help Suga's Blood, I want to help you, I want to help Mala Justine, I want to help your YouTube channels, your thumbnails. Because to be honest lah, is room for improvements. So does it sound good? Because like I can improve my thumbnails creation, thumbnail production skills, and also I can help a friend. But the thing is, I'm just worried. I'm worried that maybe you might not like it. Of course, you can use it for free lah. I'm just thankful that you can use it for free. Yeah. Sounds like a good idea. Okay, that means I'm thinking of like live streaming myself doing thumbnails for you, and then thumbnails for your YouTube channels lah. And then hopefully it's all free. It's all absolutely free because I want to improve my skills on editing thumbnails. I want to try out different stuff, different type of thumbnails. Something like instead of 1, 2, 3 types, or maybe like something that this sort of stuff. Increase my creativity level, and hopefully I can help your thumbnail as well. And also if you watch my live stream, hopefully you can like the same. Give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, he's fed for life. So maybe you can watch some of my live streams, and maybe you can learn a thing or two from my live stream. Hopefully I can learn from you as well. So sounds like a good idea? Good idea. Yes, thank you. Yes. Okay. Focus. Because sometimes when I create like for example, I noticed that for example, okay, sexual habit first. Because I recognize that sometimes content creators that spend a lot of minutes, a lot of hours, a lot of days, a lot of weeks to create one picture, one thumbnail. Okay. And then if I was to use that thumbnail and say that it can be improved, I feel bad because it's like saying that your original thumbnail is here's how I show you. Now that is a slap to the face, and it's really disrespectful, really impolite if I was to do this without their permission. And it's just I just genuinely feel bad. I really feel bad if I was to ask if I was to do this and then pass to them. It's like saying that your one is not good. Here's how you do it. That's very awkward. But thank you so much, Big Bear Jane. Jane, you're so awesome. Thank you so much for being so understanding, respectful, and just polite. You're the best. Alright, one last video. I hope that I can finish the live stream before 6 PM. Hopefully I can finish this live stream before 6 PM. One last video. I hope that you can learn something new from this video as well. This is very educational. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's cook a chicken, cook a turkey together. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's learn how to cook a yummy chicken, a turkey together. Let's go. One more time. That was Angie. Oh wait, Shippy, I would watch it. Sounds fun. Thank you so much, Shippy. You're the best. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Angie, in 3, 2, 1, and go. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's learn to cook a yummy turkey together. Let's go. Woo! Food Theory. Let's go.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory! Hello!
Show that's giving thanks while wearing Spanx. That's right, theorists. Here in the US, it's time for Thanksgiving, where tradition dictates that we take time to pause and reflect on all the good things that have happened in our lives, and also stuff ourselves with an irresponsible amount of food. We're talking pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, yam, stuffing, gravy, cranberry sauce, some casserole or another, and of course, turkey. Go ahead, name a more iconic duo than Thanksgiving and turkey. I'll wait. See, a roasted turkey is the undisputed centerpiece of the Thanksgiving feast. Not only is it huge and stunning to look at, if it comes out right that is, but it's also a huge undertaking. The first time I hosted Thanksgiving, the turkey was this harsh intro into adulting. Everything about cooking the turkey is hard. For one thing, it's just a huge time investment. First, you have to purchase the bird at a time of year when everyone else is looking to purchase the exact same item. Then, the mere act of thawing the bird takes literal days. Then, you've got the brining and the cleaning and the seasoning to worry about before you even start cooking it. And that is also gonna take a huge amount of time. The general rule of thumb for a turkey is 15 to 20 minutes of cooking per pound of bird. That means a 15-pound turkey translates to about 5 hours of roasting. And then once it's in the oven, that's when things actually get hard, because roasting a whole turkey is a high-stakes proposition. It would be one thing if you were just cooking for yourself, but at Thanksgiving there's an entire group of people eagerly awaiting the turkey the moment it comes out of the oven. Screwing up your Thanksgiving turkey is not an option. And yet, it's highly likely that you will screw it up, because we're talking about a huge fickle piece of meat that's actually 2 different types of meat sandwiched together. White meat and dark meat, which, it's worth noting, cook very differently from each other. Which leads me to the question, does it really have to be this hard?
Yeah, true. Does it really have to be that hard? Why not a chicken instead of a turkey?
Thanksgiving is supposedly about family coming together, and yet Thanksgiving requires at least one member of the family to devote pretty much the entire day focused on the turkey. I get that it's a tradition, but wouldn't it be great if there was a way to emphasize the non-stressful traditions of Thanksgiving instead? Like watching the Thanksgiving Day parade, or even better, the dog show that comes immediately afterward? Yeah. I mean, there has got to be a better way. We are in the year of our Lord 2020. Why have there been no advancements in turkey technology?
But you must remember that this video came out in the year 2020. Right now it's in the year 2022. Things may have changed.
And yeah, there are certainly other ways besides roasting a full turkey.
That's your turkey?
Every year, plenty of people across this great land cook their turkey in a variety of ways, from smoking to sous vide to deep frying to stuffing it with a duck that's stuffed with a chicken to create the abomination we call the turducken. But most of these methods involve even more work. If I may speak for my fellow Americans, and also for Canadians who celebrate Thanksgiving in October, what? We all want the classic Thanksgiving turkey experience, but we sure wouldn't mind if the process was just a wee bit easier. Well,
true. What? You can try deep frying it. It's deep fry is kind of hard to. Wait, you can mess up.
Theorists, what I'm about to tell you might very well change your Thanksgivings forever. Apparently, a turkey shortcut does exist, and it is significant. All you have to do is take the dang turkey and spatchcock it. I can say that word, right? YouTube, please don't demonetize me. It is a cooking term, and if nothing else, it's the holidays, after all. So strap in, you turkeys. Today's food theory is myth-busting the supposed Thanksgiving hack, and I do mean hack. Spatchcocking, also known as butterflying if you're boring and hate funny words.
Butterfly
is a fancy word for a simple process. You cut out the bird's spine, or you ask your butcher to do it for you, then press it down until it's flattened out before you shove it in the oven. Everything else can still be the same. If you're used to brining it, you can still brine it, along with any other seasoning method that you've been using over the years. But by doing this one small thing, not by changing our cooking method, but by changing its shape before we put it in the oven, we can actually cook the turkey at a higher temperature, which cuts way down on the amount of cooking time needed. Reportedly, by about 70 95%. Let me say that again. One additional prep step can turn a 4-hour turkey into a 1-hour turkey. Now, the concept of spatchcocking has been around since at least the 1800s, but as Google Trends clearly shows, the term has really only caught on in recent years, and
You notice the spikes. It's just one particular month.
searches spike early November. Mark Bittman of the New York Times, who published his spatchcocked turkey method back in 2002, deserves the credit for popularizing this specific method.
You have to take out the backbone. The idea here is to get the surface area of the bird bigger than it was before. Then you want to flatten this thing. There we go. You have been slaving over unevenly cooked turkeys that took 4 hours to do. This is 35 minutes, and it's good.
So let me just tap on the brakes here for a second.
From hours become minutes of cooking. It's time consuming to,
Am I supposed to believe that this is actually the first major advancement in turkey roasting since the 1800s? If spatchcocking is such a long-standing method of preparing fowl, am I supposed to believe that society just overlooked the fact that this outrageously efficient method could be applied to turkeys when all along they were using it on ducks and geese and other sorts of birds until...
Wait, is that okay, Sesame Street birds? That's awkward. Let's see one more time how to cook it properly first. Good.
So let me just tap on the brakes here for a second. Am I supposed to believe that this is actually the first major advancement in turkey roasting since the 1800s? If
Riding a carriage written by birds.
Spatchcocking is such a long-standing method of preparing fowl, am I supposed to believe that society just overlooked the fact that this outrageously efficient method could be applied to turkeys when all along they were using it on ducks and geese and other sorts of birds and...
Big birds from Sesame Street. Wait a minute, I just noticed. My audience watching this video, do you actually know how to properly cook a chicken? Like, I know you need to smash it with your bum. It's not smashing, just compress it?
Till, like, very recently? Like, humanity, what are you doing with yourself? One possible explanation for why society might have been slow to catch on to the ways of the spatchcock is that we want our Norman Rockwell moment when the Thanksgiving turkey gets presented at the table. Rockwell was an artist famous for painting Americana, and his 1942 painting entitled Freedom from Want famously depicts a huge, fully intact bird and encapsulates abundance and Americana and Thanksgiving perfectly. There's definitely a presentational aspect to Thanksgiving dinner. After all, there's a group gathered and the meal takes a tremendous amount of effort, so why shouldn't it be a big show? Of course, there's other potential explanations for why we might not spatchcock our turkeys, and these are a bit more concrete. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it's not actually more efficient at all because it produces a lesser bird. Drier meat, less crispy skin. I mean, let's be honest, that it can reduce cooking time by 75% is a massive claim. It seems
true, and why must it particularly be turkey and not chicken for households that couldn't afford turkeys? Why must it particularly be turkey? For different income households, maybe turkey is more expensive. Chicken might be cheaper.
It's too good to be true. Like, there's gotta be a catch, right? Sure, the cooking time is shorter, but maybe the taste suffers. Maybe the texture suffers. However, spatchcock enthusiasts online seem to be suggesting the exact opposite. Many people swear that spatchcocking actually gives you a more even bake, and in fact, improves the bird in addition to saving copious amounts of time. Oh, when I hear a claim this bold about something so simple, you know that I gotta put it to the test. The scientific test. That's why I enlisted the help of Stephanie, the undisputed turkey master in our household, to help me pull off a head-to-head matchup. Or I suppose I should say a headless-to-headless matchup between a spatchcocked turkey and the classic roasted turkey that our family's been enjoying for literal years.
And it must be very awkward thinking that you have to eat 2 turkeys this month. Yep, two turkeys. Yep, it's going to stuff you full.
Nearly a decade. It also helps that Stephanie knows CPR. I figure it can only help us when we get to the part where we have to crack the ribs against the counter. First, we bought 2 identically sized 13-pound turkeys. Then, we prepared them the exact same way, including a 48-hour brine and butter under the skin.
I can't believe it. The cat.
The only reason you started this channel was so we could have more turkey on Thanksgiving.
This is my master plan the entire time.
My fan is like, that's my master plan.
Then it was time for our 2 turkeys to take 2 very different paths. One was selected for spatchcocking and was named Spatchcock the Turkey. And
I spatchcocked the turkey.
The other was named Sherman because...
I Hi, Sherman.
That was the only other good name that we could come up with at the time.
So we're in the final prep stages for both of these birds. We have the regular one, we have the spatchcock one. These two methods are essentially trying to accomplish the same thing, which is an even cook, but this one involves a lot of temperature up and down, a lot of fancy stuff, and this could change Thanksgiving forever.
Yeah, the spatchcock layers everything out so the meat is all on the same playing field, so presumably it cooks 1, faster, and 2, more evenly.
You must remember, this is 2 turkeys during the global pandemic period. How are you gonna finish so much meat? You can feed a small village for a meal. How are you gonna finish
So
this?
you're not getting the breast done while the dark meat isn't, things like that.
Exactly. So like, I think we actually have to do this now. I think we have to like butcher this bird.
Are you saying that bird is spineless? It will be.
It's about to be. I should also mention, both turkeys are getting cooked with the neck.
That I don't know if spatchcocking is getting us censored, but you holding up that
definitely
is definitely getting us demonetized.
This is the turkey neck.
Stop doing that!
So secretly, this is my favorite part of the entire Thanksgiving bird.
Man, this is the video that launched 1,000
I
memes.
Alright, okay. Yep, that thing does look similar to... Let's keep this wholesome and family friendly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Man.
My like inner country bumpkin doesn't come out very often, apparently only at Thanksgiving.
So we went about cutting out the spine with kitchen shears. Okay, Stephanie went about cutting out the spine with kitchen shears. I cheered her on from the sidelines.
Eye power.
I know Mark Bittman opted for the boning knife, but shears are another option that many spatchcockers suggest.
This is actually really difficult.
Is it? No.
Do you want to give this a shot?
Yeah, I'd love to try.
Okay, here, please
Here.
get in this.
Let me take off my great GT Live merch.
Just get in the turkey already.
Let me take off this amazing Game Theory signature jacket.
Merch. It wasn't easy, but between the two of us, we eventually got the spine out.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Yes, we did it. There's the backbone.
You know, our cuts weren't necessarily as clean as some of those online cooking channels, but for a first timer, I think we nailed it.
Right, totally.
Nailed it. Oh, you touched my hand with your dirty turkey hands. I washed my hands while we were cut.
But we were high-fiving.
For the next step, we had to let the knife, quote, glide through the collarbone.
We're gonna let the knife
glide.
Glide
stuff.
It's gonna. It kind of glided a little bit. It did a little gliding. And
perfect.
Okay.
That was great.
All right. So now.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Surprise!
Open.
We let the knife glide. Look at that. All right, now we perform the CPR.
CPR. Ready? Wait, hold up. Stephanie, before you do CPR, you know you have to do the ABCs.
Survey the scene.
Survey the scene. Scene is clear. Everyone back away. Matt, make sure you're clear.
Call 911.
You call 911. Airway. His airway is clear.
Yes, but he's not breathing.
He's missing a large chunk of his top. I'm not
Stop breathing.
getting any breaths.
Like you play with the neck, of course it's not breathing.
Check his pulse. Certainly no pulse. Beginning CPR.
Crack the ribs. Ready?
Ready. And
okay, but case in point, if you're really doing a CPR, please do not crack the ribs. Thank you so much. Please do not injure the individual. Yeah.
1. Ooh, it did crack.
It did crack. It really did.
Oh my god, let's watch it again.
No pulse. Beginning CPR.
Crack the ribs. Ready?
Ready. And 1. Ooh, it did crack.
It did crack. It really did.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breath.
Okay, I think we did it. I think it's sufficient.
I love the chemistry between these two individuals. It sounds like a pun. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe.
Sufficiently dead. All right, we have it. He's spatchcocked.
It's officially dead. Duh.
He's ready to go.
So this is it. This is the finished bird, all arranged, spatchcocked, ready to go.
Salted, seasoned, everything. We're putting it in the fridge while we prep the other bird.
Because he's only supposed to take 30 to 45, maybe an hour tops to cook, whereas our other guy's supposed to take multiple hours. So in an effort to get as clean of a taste test as possible, we both want them coming out of the oven at the same time.
So Sherman went into the oven first, where we tended to him with all the temperature adjustments and repositionings that a classic style roasted turkey requires while it's in the oven. oven. When Sherman was about an hour from being done, we put the spatchcocked turkey into the second oven.
All right.
Time for the big reveal.
Let me try this. It should be.
Here is regular turkey, our Norman Rockwell turkey. Ooh.
He would be very proud, I feel.
I think so too. We achieved a nice golden brown. This is pretty much exactly what we wanted this turkey to look like, so success there. So this bird took 3.5 hours to cook. It was flipped twice.
Literally hours and extra steps.
First down and then back up again. It was covered with tinfoil and then uncovered. We did all the things and it came out pretty much exactly the way we wanted it
Yeah,
to.
this is pretty consistent to how it always looks.
Yeah.
So this is pretty darn good.
And now for the spatchcock. Ta-da!
Ooh.
I feel like this is a really nice golden brown.
This looks great.
There's also this weird cleavage shot up here, which is very strange, but I can't decide. Maybe I'm into it. I don't know.
Whoa!
Okay, that's very weird. Let's keep this wholesome and family friendly. Thank you so much, my pet. Oh no, Stephanie. Okay, bro, my pet. Like, Anyways, I'm sorry. Round 1, visual appearance.
So, in the battle between spatchcock versus traditional roasted turkey, round 1, visual appearance. What do you think?
I have to give this one, for me, to the spatchcock.
I do too.
It's beautiful, it's golden brown, it's super even, it looks shiny. It looks like the picture of a turkey should look, except that it's flat.
And also must remember, there's something called 情人眼里出西施. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so the eyes. Yeah, something like that. So it's quite of a cool, charming, gorgeous, good-looking turkey.
Right, this guy,
Sorry.
even though we did our best, and again, Stephanie has experienced in this multiple years in a row, there's just no way that you're getting that nice, even browning on every part. I gotta say, like visual appearance, if this is showing up on the table, I think I'm liking this one a little bit better.
I know.
But, you know, you're not eating with your eyes. It's a feast for your mouth.
Eating with your teethy parts.
The teethy parts, that's right. So let's eat with our teethy parts and carve this puppy up. That's a smart call.
We're starting with white meat, so I'm gonna start carving into the breast of this one. That does look like a really nice piece of meat.
Get in here with this detail shot, Matt. Look at that juice. Look at that glisten. See how glistening that is?
Okay, so this spatchcock also looks very tender, I have to say. It's feeling very juicy as I cut into it.
Yeah.
We're each getting a nice slice here. And it's coming off like basically the same part of the breast. It's right on the outside. Like this should be a very even test.
So from a crispiness of the skin standpoint,
I would kind of call them both even for me.
see, I'm not much of a skin guy. Spatchcock.
They're both pretty crispy, honestly.
Had a decent crisp to it. Let's see regular roast, Sherman. Yeah, pretty similar. Though again, I would say the crispiness of this skin looks more even across the board, whereas Sherman over here, it's crispy on top, obviously, and it's got crispy on the side here.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to crispiness on the wing, that's where you're really starting to fall off.
That's true.
So here, more of the wing is crispy, and more of the breast is crispy, whereas here it's pretty much all focused around kind of the top and main part of the bird. So to me, honestly, I think I gotta go spatchcock on this one. It's just crispy and even throughout, whereas here, definite solid bits of crispy, but once you get into the wing, you start falling off.
There's just no way of creating that same surface area with the 3D bird that you get with the spatchcock, so that has to be the tiebreaker, the overall evenness.
Right.
All right, spatchcock again. Okay, what are we tasting first? I nominate Sherman. Let's go Sherman first.
Okay, Sherman first. Traditional roast first.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay.
Nice. Can cut it with the fork. It is that moist.
It's really, yeah, you don't need a knife for either. Oh man, that was really good.
I like turkey.
That's really good.
Turkey makes me so happy.
It's really moist.
It's a good decision to create a food channel, right? Good choice, good decision.
Turkey
It's well salted, it tastes seasoned, it's a little bit buttery. It's exactly the way it should be.
We have 2 Thanksgiving turkeys this year.
I'm very excited about this.
And both of them were a business expense.
Yes!
So got the Sherman implanted on your tongue?
Yep.
Okay, let's go for spatchcock.
I think I have my answer.
I think I do too. I can't believe this.
Which one?
It's spatchcock.
Right! It is!
I can't believe it.
Like, I'm mind blown by this.
I am too, and I stand by my turkey cooking method any day of the week, but the spatchcock turkey tastes better. It's just a little bit moister. It's just slightly more delicious. We did the exact same thing to both of these birds, and yet this one tastes a little bit more flavorful somehow.
Yeah, this one is falling apart in my mouth that much more. It has a little bit more glisten. It's a little bit juicier.
It's a little bit moisture, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And again, for half the time. Less than half the time.
It just bears mentioning, because this is YouTube, this is not rigged at all. We legitimately did all of this all day.
Yep.
I kind of wanted my method to win, because like,
I did too.
I've been wasting my time all these years.
Yeah, you must recognize that her original method take hours, whereas this new method take minutes. Save for time, productivity, save time.
What is better?
I did too.
That sucks.
I know.
Final round.
Dark meat.
Dark.
This is never your cup of tea, but I'm curious to see if you maybe like the spatchcock one. I'm into it. I'm all about, like, give me a big turkey leg with a bunch of barbecue sauce. I'm all about it. Right after the neck.
Again, Stephanie proven she's a bit of a weirdy poop.
Alright, that feels weird. Let's keep this family friendly and wholesome. Thank you so much.
We did Sherman in round 1 first, so let's do spatchcock.
Spatchcock first, yep. Let's go over here. I thought Sherman was moister on the dark meat.
Yeah. Is that because it's sitting in the juices?
Yeah, it's so moist because at the end of the cook, it's face down and it's just soaking up juices. It's like really marinating and it's already been crisped up for the majority of the cook, so it stays nice and brown.
Although conversely, because it has been sitting face down in the juices, though the meat is juicier, I agree, the skin is soggier, again, because it's just sitting in juice. Whereas here in spatchcock land, the skin is crispier all the way through, but yeah, the meat is slightly less juicy. I will say Sherman is a little bit better on the dark meat.
Also, it is fair to say that 3 out of 4 tests went to spatchcock.
Well, yeah.
Final verdict in the Turkey Battle 2020. Are you cooking your turkey wrong clickbait challenge?
I think we are.
I just like it's like, yep, it's definitely a clickbait challenge. We admit it, it's a clickbait. Sorry.
Cooking our turkey wrong. I think Steph and I have been cooking our turkey wrong since, how long have we been doing this thing? 8 years? 10? 10 years? Since the decade that I've known Stephanie, we've been doing it wrong. I think spatchcock is the way to go. I am literally gonna cook my turkey this way next year. Unless, of course, you want to deep fry it, in which case all of this is moot. So there you have it, theorists. Spatchcocking made believers out of us, and it might just make a believer out of you too. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. Thanks for watching, theorists. And in the spirit of the season, let's give thanks to our sponsor for today's episode, Bright Cellars. Steph and I have mentioned this in past food theory episodes, but we absolutely love trying and learning about different sorts of spirits and wines.
We're what we call educational drinkers, where we like learning about alcohol and taste testing a lot of them and learning about the history and being able to like identify interesting things in the flavors of them.
And that's what makes Bright Cellars such a great choice for us as casual drinkers. All we had to do was take a super simple 7-question quiz, and they sent us a personalized box of wine straight to our door. We mentioned that we wanted some fun, creative options, and they delivered. Literally, they delivered it to our door. We got a box filled with different wines from all over the world. Italy, Austria, Washington State. I'm pretty confident I never tasted a wine that had nectarine in it before, but that all changed when we opened the box. And best of all, Bright Cellars included wine educational cards that gave us some really great insights into each of the wines. So now, Steph and I have wine facts to fire off at anyone and everyone we encounter this holiday season. And get this, Bright Cellars is giving our followers 50% off their first 6-bottle box. So follow the link in the description below to take the quiz and get started. If you are at all interested in learning more about wine and spirits, then Bright Cellars is a fantastic choice. Links down in the description below, and I'll see you all next week.
Well, anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video together with me. I hope you find this video very interesting to watch. I hope that you really learned something new. Are you cooking your bird correctly? Interesting, right? Anyways, if you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel. I sincerely appreciate all of the support and encouragement for my work. Thank you so much for your best. I hope to see you on the next video. But hey, that's just a theory, a food theory. Bon appetit. Thank you. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Once again, please remember to subscribe! Thank you! Wow, that was so long. Huh, that was 25 minutes. Wow. Okay, time to read the chat before I end my live stream. It's going to be 6 PM soon. I hope that... Okay, so 6 PM is going to be like... You do know, right? 6 PM is normally the time in which you end a school, you end a class, or maybe you get home from work, or you take the bus, or take the trains, or you return home from work, or you start cooking. 6 PM is normally around the time. So it's going to be 6 PM soon. I hope that I can do finish things, get to cooking my dinner. Yeah. Let me just read the... wow, that's a lot of... Thank you so much for keeping the chat so engaging and active. Thank you so much, you're the best. Okay, I'm good. Congratulations. Sorry. Angry Duck. Sausage Duck, yes. Great intro. Yeah, Bruce Lee. That's your chicken? Turkey tag. Turkey tag. We eat turkey for Christmas instead of Thanksgiving for where I'm from. Well, to be honest, right, it can be expensive. It can be very expensive sometimes. KFC! Okay, let's continue reading. Okay. We need to smash with palm. Oh, martial arts. You know the palm smash? 那个掌，如来佛掌。Okay, it's called the more you know, I guess. And turkey in Malaysia. Yeah. I can't cook pasta, let alone turkey. Oh, like from what I know, right, you can follow the YouTube tutorial, like step-by-step tutorial. If the tutorial take 15 minutes, you'll probably be finished in 15 minutes. If the video takes 30 minutes, you'll probably be finished by 30 minutes. If the video takes 1 hour and 20 minutes, you'll probably be finished by 1 or 20 minutes. It will show you exact process. To the hard time, you just put the camera next to the oven and just... And ding! Continue. If it takes so long, it might take so long. You can go search YouTube, there's the step-by-step process. And it has also fast forward editing that as well. I can't remember. I open. True. Maybe. Turkey is expensive. I almost thought that the country turkey. I'm sorry. Okay, the country turkey can also be expensive. The country. Okay. Turkey is expensive, and that's why it's once a year to celebrate Xmas. Wow, that's awesome. Very expensive as well. Yeah, it's like any celebration for your hard work since it's luxury. Unpopular opinion, but I think duck is better than turkey. For me personally, both are expensive. So, sorry. My mom made once and we ate for 2 days. Won't the meat spoil? Like, won't the meat spoil overnight? Worried lah. I mean, if you keep it refrigerated properly, the bacteria might not have time to grow. Good question. Next, so remove the spine is called the more you know. Yeah, hopefully you can try it out next time. Hopefully that watching my live stream you can learn something new. Educational. Okay, it's making me hungry. Yes, I know, right? I need a poetry knife. It's like give birth to like, this is your new baby food. It's a food. Sorry, chicken now. Chicken turkey. Oh, you can actually do it with the chicken as well. With a duck as well. Huh. True. That's true. Actually, that's awesome, right? Well, anyways, wow. Anyways, I got out of chat. Yes, I got out of chat. Okay. Thank you all so much for watching this live stream. Let me do this outro. Okay. Thank you all so much for watching this live stream together with me. I hope you find this live stream very interesting to watch. If you do like this live stream, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my live channel and comment down below if you have enjoyed. If you I forgot. NG, take two. Okay, take two. Thank you all so much for watching this live stream together with me. I hope you find this live stream very interesting and just new thing to watch. It's very interesting, isn't it? It's quite educational and entertaining. If you do like this video, live stream, gosh. Take three, okay? Thank you all so much for watching this live stream together with me. I hope you find this live stream very interesting to watch. If you do like this live stream, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have any share of us. Don't forget to follow my channel and sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you all so much for the best. I hope to see you on my next live stream. But hey, that's just a stream. A live stream. Thanks for watching. Thank you. And I hope to see you all in my next live stream. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, I have to take NG 3 times that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, chicken. Yeah, bye. Thank you. Take care. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Shout out to Bear Jane. She is also a great content creator. Alright. Do remember to help support her. Can you Jane? Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? I see you around. Can you do me a favor? Can you type in your link so that Shippy can support you as well? Thank you so much. Her videos, her contents are just wonderful to watch. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Can you just type in the link? Yeah. Shippy can help support. Just subscribe, follow, like, share, subscribe, comment, follow. Just yeah. Thank you so much for being so supportive and educational and uplifting, motivating, inspirational. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you so much. Type in Jane. You type in on the comments down below. Hopefully you can show support. She's a wonderful individual. Help support. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye, and help support to everyone's channel. Thank you. End stream.